Hey you guys, welcome. Oh my god, they have been chatting it up in this comment section, you guys.
I see that. Hi guys, happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. We gotten to the long awaited return of Thomas Forrester, and all I can say is that I feel sorry for the Dope fans. So, but we'll get there later. All right, welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk. Right now it's myself, T, I got Bree, and I got Trish. Keish will be coming on, and we'll be recapping both Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, for the week of June 17th through June 21st. We usually start with the Young and the Restless in the first half of the show. Second half of the show, without, we have a little quick intermission, and then we do the Bold and the Beautiful. And then we have a couple other segments at the end. Flip the script. If there's a particular storyline that you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script. Who's taking several seats? Somebody that was doing just too much need to sit down. And then we got our Star of the Week and our Pickle of the Week. And I see newbies slowly strolling in here. I see new names. New names and faces. So I'm trying to give those folks a welcome. So welcome in. I just typed it in there. So hi Miranda, welcome. All right. So a lot has happened. I think we're getting ready to head into July sweeps. And obviously, they're ramping up the drama. Young and the Restless, pretty good this week. I'm not too much on flashbacks. And I will say congratulations to Josh Morrow on his 30th anniversary this week, which is what that standalone episode was about for today. So if you are a Nick and Sharon fan, you definitely got your feel in.
That was a whole episode. Memories.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Really fun memories. I remember every one of those flashbacks.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I did not do a recap on it because they did a recap on their history. So I just let them do it. Don't recap this. So for those that might have been looking for a video, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't do a recap of the Young and the Restless, that's, because I'm like, they're rehashing their history, so there you go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road, and without any further ado, we're going to start with the Young and the Restless for the week of the 17th through the 21st. Tucker's heart attack stalls the takeover. Alan asks Tracy out, and Connor finally eats soup. After faking a heart attack, Tucker accuses Jack of being the mystery investor, and Victor won't let Victoria run Newman Media. Abby is furious with the family for keeping her in the dark about Ashley, and Katie lashes out at Claire upon meeting her. Snapper is optimistic about Jill's illness. Katie worries about Claire going to unalive them, and Audra gets a rude awakening. That was the best part of that episode.
That was.
And then finally, Nicholas reminisces about love, marriage, cheating, and losing Cassie in this standalone episode. All right. Hey, Jay, I guess you didn't check your messages. So I'll just put that out there. All right. So where do you guys want to start?
I guess we can get Tucker out the way since that's at the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And if he's gone.
I know. They could have kept, but see, here's the thing. Trevor St. John got a lot going on, and he's doing his own production of his own movies and different things like that. So, I could see him saying, I need time to do my own projects.
I don't blame him. Get that money, sir. I understand.
I know, right? I
It
know.
sucks for us as a viewer. I was really feeling for him. I thought he really did have a heart attack. And then he was like, okay, let me pay you off. I'm like, okay, smart Tucker. I love that. Love that. But what is Audra's issue? She had the keys to her dreams, as she kept on saying, like, but I wanted it more. I want to prove something to Tucker. Well, he's trying to hand you everything you've asked for. You just want to make it difficult for yourself.
Right. Yeah, she was stupid. But you know what? Hey, silly people get silly prizes, and she got a big one. And, I mean, Tucker said, look, just take the darn company. You can have it. It's all yours, free and clear. And she's like, no, I want to win it. I don't want you to give it to me. And I'm like,
when what? You had this man's wallet for years. He's always made sure you're employed, always made sure you had money in your pocket. And he's handing you pretty much his life on a silver platter. You didn't want to marry him. Okay, fine. He's handing you a company that he just acquired on a silver platter, and you don't want that. What do you want?
Girl, it's just dumb. She want this man to hurt. Because she said it. She said, I want you to feel the pain and of you losing everything instead of him just being diplomatic. Because see, in her mind, she thinks that by allowing her to get the company handed to her is letting him walk away diplomatically, like, hey, I gave it to you, right? By her taking it away from him, outmaneuvering him, she wanted the sting.
But he still got paid.
Exactly.
And she's about to get screwed. Not the fun kind.
Well, she's used to being screwed the other kind. The other way she's used to being screwed, but she's going to get, Victor gave her, this might as well slide us into that storyline because Victor gave her a rude, this girl think being a CEO means she's running everything. And what's his name? Nate tried to warn her. He said, listen, this is a small startup. Why would somebody invest all this money into a small startup unless there's a catch or they want something at this deal?
Y'all, little sis just traded one codependent relationship for another one.
But a worse one.
Yep.
Yeah. And she, of all people, know how Nikki treated her and how Victor treats his kids. I mean, they talked about it all the time. So why did she feel that because it's her, it was going to be any different? And then she tried to do this to try to hurt a billionaire. This man, if it's a small startup company, this man knows how to make money. He's been rich for years. He's not going to be upset about losing his company. He was hurt by losing her, which is foolish.
Right. Exactly.
And he's not rich, y'all. He's wealthy.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah, and she's talking about, he's pretty much destroyed in the business world. Listen, no.
Believe me, even if he didn't have any money, he's in the boys club. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's still admitted to the club.
Yeah, he's part of the 1%ers. So, like you just said, Bree, one thing about people that billionaires, in order for them to get to being a billionaire, they had to suffer losses in order to learn from them to recreate the money that they lost. He can do this in a heartbeat.
Well, and he didn't lose.
Right. He got paid handsomely.
Over market.
Go ahead, Bree. What you say?
I agree with that. It was stupid on her part. That man was willing to hand that company to her, free and clear, to do whatever she wants. She had nothing but funding. She already had people who was backing her. All he wanted to do was just hand it free and clear to her, which makes no sense. But she felt working with Victor Newman was going to be better for her. When has that ever worked out? You should ask Michael.
Right.
Right. And of course Michael go way back with Victor. You just came to town a couple years ago, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know.
You've already been fired 3 times.
Right. I mean.
Oh wow, that's right. Chancellor-Winters and Newman Medium, and where else did she get fired from?
Tucker.
Yeah, pretty much. She fired herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. She thought taking a CEO position, which we were saying about Lily, it's a position the owners or whoever can say, we want to get a new CEO. And Victor can do that. And for her to walk around all excited, telling Nate, she gets over to Victor's house, and Victor is like, I'm gonna need you to run this as a co-CEO. And she like, I can run this by myself. Oh, I know your talents. However, your job is contingent. Now, when you know the word contingent means is that you either do this or you're out.
Right. And if she was smart, she would have been a 10%er in whatever deal she wrote to be the one to go between this deal.
Yeah, but she ain't that smart. She was so far deep in the stick at the Tucker, she didn't have time to dot her I's and cross her T's.
She could have been a 100%er. But the stupidity of this storyline is just face palming. It's just.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it though, because she needed to be knocked down a peg or two, and Victor will do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She thought it was hard working under Tucker. Tucker wanted to marry her and all this. Victor ain't gonna want to marry you, ma'am.
No, he'll swat her like a gnat.
And then Victor was like, your job as CEO is contingent if Kyle becomes co-CEO. So if you don't want Kyle in that position, guess what? You're right back to square one, and that company belongs to him.
Right.
That's what she get.
Yeah. And this one had no problem being ping pong back and forth between Tucker and Kyle. Now they put her right back with Kyle. What is she going to do with herself?
Mm-hmm.
She can't even call herself having a victory, because you handed this other man a company, the one that she said that she wants it the most.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to try to get it from Victor now?
Oh, girl, please.
So she better enjoy being a Newman employee like she aspired to be, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Because wasn't...
Quite frankly, they could... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Trish.
I was going to say, they could really either... I don't remember them talking about Brash and Sassy for a long time. They sold it, I thought. But, I mean, they could literally roll this out and change the name and not even have Glissade anymore. And fire Audra and call it Brash and Sassy, too.
Oh, yeah, they did. That was a cosmetics company. They were making lipsticks and stuff.
Victoria ran that.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That would have been an interesting storyline for her to go back to the cosmetics world.
So, I was going to ask a question about this. And it was right there. Okay, so if Kyle says no, is she still on the hook for her job? Because Kyle could, even though Monday's episode, he's now trying to flip the script. So there's a spoiler alert I'm going to put out here. On Monday's episode, Diane tries to fire him, or threatens to. And so he tells Victor, I'll take the position, but you got to fire Audra.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I could see them doing that, and maybe, keep my fingers crossed, she'll be over at Newman Media with Adam, but that might be wishful thinking. But I think Audra's going to go back to being on her back and try to convince Kyle, since he's already said that he's bored and he doesn't have anything going on. She's going to go back to work and ensure that she secures her position over at Glissade.
Okay, Bree. Now you know Kyle ain't trying to go back to Audra when he is so attracted to Claire and her Laura Ingalls outfit that Hope designed for her.
Oh, I can't wait to get to the ugly outfit. But I mean, she's just loose as a goose. So I mean, she serves a purpose for an hour or so. He doesn't have to be in a relationship with Audra. I mean, that's how their connection was before.
Yeah, my thing. Okay, so when Nikki had to leave and Audra was still there before they fired her, wasn't she interim CEO at Newman Media?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was already CEO of the media division and got fired. What made her think that her being CEO of Glissade could not get her out of that seat?
I think everyone on that show has this need to be up underneath Victor Newman. I think her thinking that having the prestige of working for Victor Newman was supposed to mean something. And it just means that you're just a chess piece. And I'll never understand, and I used to think that this woman was very smart. How would you not want to take the opportunity to run your own stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, none of the investors, like, it's a complete startup without no money coming from her into that business.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
No. It would have been, you would be the owner, not the CEO. You would be able to hire a CEO.
Exactly. And she could have hired Kyle if she wanted to. She was fully in charge. This was foolish on this girl.
Let me ask you a question. Now, I know that Glissade is cosmetics, right? Just say Audra had took the company and she became the owner. Would you like, and I know she's over at what is that girl's fashion house? So we don't hardly see it all the time. Summers.
Oh,
Marchetti. What if they could have brought Chloe and Sally up under Audra?
On a cosmetics line?
Yeah, why not? She was doing interior design. She might as well.
I can see that. I was surprised that I didn't see any interaction between Audra and Sally. I personally wouldn't mind them doing that, but I think Sally, they stress that Sally wants to be a designer. I honestly thought, since they mentioned that Audra used to be into art and she loved drawing, I figured that she would be going over to Marchetti and being a designer, but they went this route. So
Paris says she's new, so she doesn't. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me scroll down. She's one of our newbies. Welcome again, Paris.
Hey, Paris.
She's new, so she doesn't know how Victor rolls. Well, she's had some experience with Victor and that family.
Especially his wife.
Right.
She fired her for no reason. None. Just to cover up her own mess. What did she think Victor was going to do?
Especially if Nikki is a little nicer than Victor, and Nikki still fired her for no reason. So imagine Victor. Oh my, yeah, she was dumb for that move.
She's back to convince Kyle to take the position.
Yeah, J Money said that's a really good idea. They could have set up Audra having an affair with Adam if Sally was working with her.
I'm hoping that we get that maybe later down the line. It will be really funny for Victor to hire Audra and to see how she's sneaky and conniving, and then she tries to get with Adam. It would be nice for him to really kick her to the curb when he has a chance to, like he's done to every other person who comes into the family, like Cole. But this is a great storyline. I love the fact that she's about to be knocked down a peg or two since she thinks she's running things.
Right. Absolutely. So that was a sweet moment when I saw that, and the look on her face when she thought that she was on top of the world, and he brought her right back down to reality. That I'm running this, not you. Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah. All right, speaking of business deals. We got Lily and Billy. And Billy is thinking that he has Lily right where he wants her, but in fact, she has him right where she wants him.
So, help me understand. Because somehow, I don't know if I like glazed over. What is Lily trying to do?
Okay, so I don't know if you remember a few weeks back when all this mess started happening and they got sick and tired of Billy, and this is right before I think the Jill illness situation.
Right.
They had a conversation how they were going to demerge the company, pretend like Lily was going to turn against Devon and stay with Chancellor-Winters. And once the demerger has been completed, then Lily was going to jump ship and go work with Devon and Nate.
Okay, so that's what she said. That's what she's setting Billy up for. But does Billy think that they're going to run the whole thing together, or does he think they're going to run that side of it and Devon's going to take his side and Nate?
Well, the thing is, when they had that picture right there that's on the screen with them toasting, that was him agreeing to the demerger, and he was going to tell Jill about it, and she pretended like Devon did not know, but of course he does, because this is all a plan. And yeah, they're going to run it as Abbott-Chancellor, and Winters is going to go separately and do its own thing. They're not going to be tied to Chancellor at all.
I'm glad I'm over it.
Me too. They should have never merged those companies. It was very foolish on Lily's part, but I'm glad that she's realizing that now. I was so happy to see the end where she's like, I got him exactly where I want him. I'm like, good, because he was using the whole Jill thing to try to fiddle with her. Like, I hate when people do that. And the fact that he had no problem calling his mother instead of actually going to go see his mother, that he's really just proven that he's selfish just like everybody else on the show. Oh, yeah. But to use his mother's illness to try to play Lily, I'm glad that she's going to get the last laugh.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about Devon? Now, Devon knew the plan. He came in there and looking all suspicious and telling Nate we need to keep our guard up. And Nate is like, hold on. Isn't she trying to fulfill the plan that we have? Well, I don't know. We need to keep an eye on those two. And sure enough, Lily came in there like, oh, we ain't got to worry about this. I got him right where I want to. I mean, where I want him. And looked like Devon calmed down. I'm like, dude, you do remember the plan, right?
But I hate to say this with Devon. I mean, he's always suspicious. And he gets on my nerves most of the time. But I will say that Lily said in his face that she doesn't trust him. So his guard is going to be up. Because I remember that meeting that they had with Mamie. She said, like, I don't trust him. So all he can do is try to speculate. But he should know his sister by now. And that she's going to stick with the family plan. I'm just kind of curious to see if he's going to go behind her back because he's already suspicious of her.
Yeah, probably so. I think it's even beyond suspicious at this point. The guy's paranoid.
Yeah.
That's what Amaya said. Amaya agree with you, Trish. Devon is a paranoid person.
Yes, Amaya. He's totally paranoid.
Y'all said it at the same time. Her message came up, and then you said it too. He's paranoid, and it's like, look, just let Winters do its own thing. You can control whatever you want to control. Now, I kind of want to circle back to a conversation between Devon and Victor, Mr. Newman. And so I'm like, this man is telling you need to be worried about your father. He need to be worried about you. You were the one that took his father's company.
Yes. I'm so sick of people, and that's what I was saying about Audra. Everyone seems to wants to glorify Victor for whatever reason. They feel that this is like the piece of resistance to work for him or to be in his presence. And I'm like, Devon, you're a whole billionaire yourself. why are you calling him Mr. Newman unless it's like an age thing? But it's like you're acting like a subordinate underneath him. And on top of that, regardless of what issues I may have, like with my family, I would always defend my family. You're not going to talk about them like that. And that's what I've always appreciated by Diane. When Victor always came to her about Jack, she always kept it, respectful and cordial for her husband's sake. I wish Devon could just be like to keep certain things under wraps and stop letting other people in about his issues with his dad.
Okay, so Paris she said, when Lily suggested the unmerge, I was screaming with joy, but it was Mamie's idea. So are the niece and the nephews going to apologize and give her credit?
No, unfortunately not. They are still blaming Mamie for interfering. I think Nate has said that earlier on this week, if I'm not mistaken. They're still going to blame Mamie. That's why I'm hoping that when she pops up on Monday, I hope she really gives it to all of them. She's like, I told you all, and y'all you were trying to force me to sell my shares for you to do exactly what I told you to do.
I still think Mamie helped usher in so much of the chaos. I wouldn't give her any credit. It's just, she came in there charging in like a bull in a china shop, had her little stake, and thought she could go in there and tell these professionals how to run this company. And if she stayed out of it, then the paranoia wouldn't have been there from the other side. And it was this whole seesaw of BS. And it just clouded everything up. I'm just not a fan of the whole Mamie storyline.
So, Trish, do you think it was just a situation of her really trying to figure out a way to protect the legacy because she didn't trust Jill and Billy?
Are you asking if I think that Mamie was the one trying to save the legacy?
Right, because that was her biggest talking point amongst all of the antics, was her trying to make sure that Devon, Nate, and Lily maintain and protect the winter shares of it, or the winter side of it.
So what cracks me up about that is that Mamie was the aunt to Neil's wife. Neil did all this after Drusilla was gone. Mamie hasn't been around for a very long time and has only been in touch with Nate. Lily hasn't been in touch with her. Devon hasn't not been in touch with her. They were never close. And now all of a sudden she's the big matriarch trying to be the glue of the family to these adults who never asked for her interference or for her advice. I just find it,
Go ahead, what are you about to say, Bree?
I'll say this. I think when she originally came on, I think her intentions were good in that regard. I think maybe if anything, she's probably maybe making up for lost time by trying to help them and try to save their legacy to some degree. But I do agree with you. She has no relationship whatsoever to Devon. We don't know really the type of relationship she had with Lily, but she's obviously, she knew her mother, of course, but she didn't have a reason to say anything, but I understand from maybe for her family, she had to be one who was vocal, especially with everything going on, because Jill could have easily still done the same thing without Mamie's interfering. She could have went behind Lily's back, and she still could have gave Billy the reins, especially since she knew she was having health issues.
But we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I know she's back next week, and she's obviously is going to be interested in finding out what they decided to do, which is this demerger. And according to the spoilers for the week of the 24th through the 28th, it looked like it says that Billy has a reason to celebrate. So I'm assuming maybe that the demerger happens next week, because now he would be, the person in charge, because now he has, of course, Jill's power. Devon and Nate has nothing to do with Chancellor, and they're going to change the name to Abbott-Chancellor now. So he is going to finally be vindicated in his mind, I would assume, because he could never rise to the top over at Jabot with Jack in the way. And right now, he probably don't want to be over there because Victor got a torpedo aiming at it.
Right.
And now he's running Chancellor, so.
And I'm like, why does he want to put Abbott so badly?
Because it's his name. It's about him, girl.
I get that, but I'm like, he didn't even check with the other Abbotts still.
I mean, technically, yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, he's John Abbott's son.
Yep.
So he technically don't have to ask them. That's his last name, you know.
Well, I'm glad that this demerger's happened. It's been a long time coming. I got so sick of the merger. Literally talking about it.
Me too.
Yeah. Interesting. I just realized, because we got to talk about this young lady, we might as well go in because we still got to take a trip out to Paris because we got to talk about Jack and Tucker. Katie and Johnny came back this week, and I don't know what, both of you guys, you all watched today's episode, so I know Faith was there on there. I didn't watch it. I didn't. I had 2 back-to-back calls, 3 hours each. So.
Oh, no.
That's why I said it was a busy Friday for me.
You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much at all.
It
was highlighting Sharon and Nick's life, basically.
He looked good, though, didn't he? He was so
Oh, my God.
She was so young and pretty. I mean, not that she's not beautiful and he's not still handsome, but wow.
Okay.
He looked good in every
shot.
Is not every shot. I'm like, he has not missed a day at all. He's just fine all of his life.
Yeah, and his voice has done nothing but get deeper.
Yeah, yes. Oh my goodness. But Phyllis made that man look even sexier.
So hot. Oh my God. I don't care what anybody says. This is the hill I will die. I'm not dying, but this is the hill that I'm going to put the flag on. Nick and Phyllis are hot.
They should put those two back together.
I would love it.
The flashbacks when he was having an affair with Phyllis, he was the sexiest he's ever been, in my opinion. When he showed up at that door, I sent you guys a screenshot in the group chat. Ooh, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
He is a gorgeous, gorgeous man. With that being said, all of this highlighted him and Sharon and what Sharon had went through and him trying to go. He went to prison for Sharon and Sharon's kids. They completely forgot about Summer. They forgot about how he got Christian. There was other stuff regarding Nick, in my opinion, that they could have highlighted. And I hated the ending because they completely forgot about his other siblings too.
Yes,
it seemed like it's like Victoria was his only sibling, apparently.
So is it possible that they really focused this standalone video on both Nick and Sharon because they're trying to bring Sharon back into a storyline or something?
Probably. But even when they did the standalone episode for Sharon, they highlighted that all the men that she's been with in the story and her story arcs, I felt they gave like a good round about information regarding Sharon. Whereas with Nick, they only focus on his interaction with her, and they touched on the friction that Nikki and Sharon had, and they touched on about Nick and Phyllis for like 2 seconds, and then everything else was about them as a couple. Like, I didn't feel like that was a tribute. I felt like that was a part 2 of Sharon's story.
Okay. But we did have Faith come in this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then I think
her heart.
Say it again.
Moses broke her heart.
How did he break her heart?
He broke up with her.
Oh, they broke up. Okay, gotcha.
He broke up with her. He said they need to see other people.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And it is what it is. I mean, I didn't see it. I was more focused on trying to make sure I saw bold today, if anything.
Yeah.
Because I knew today was going to be a big day for that. But yeah, it's been. I got behind. I usually try to get the the actual live set up ahead of time, so people. I just set it up 15 minutes before the show. Because I've been going since 6 a.m. So, anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, anyway. So, back to what we have with Katie and Johnny. Johnny was hilarious. Claire came in there and listen, Bree, I don't know if you guys were on our midweek chat, but I showed a picture of that hideous shirt. Yes, if you're listening producers or whoever, that shirt that Claire had on was absolutely hideous.
You know what it reminded me of? You ever see these videos of upcycling on TikTok where I got a bunch of stuff from my great-great-grandmother. One was a tablecloth, and look, a doily. I'm going to make a shirt.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. That's how Hope for the Future made her line.
Well, I mean, looking, and you know what? When I saw the dresses that Hope had in that design room, and Ridge was like, But
I know. And who posted the ramen noodles? Bree, was that you?
That was me. That's exactly what that dress looked like. It was a bowl of ramen noodles. And I'm like, I see why they returned that. Who was wearing that? And it's in like puke color too. No.
But Bree, I think Claire would have looked better with one of those dresses than what she had on this week.
I was more offended that she wore that out in public to the coffee shop.
Man, and Kyle was looking at her like, oh, girl, you look fine today. And I'm like...
Yes! What was he checking out? What was he looking at?
Honestly, I think it may have been just the imagination of removal.
Oh! Wait a minute.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Trish, you know what? Trish, that crossed my mind when Bree...
It's gotta come off. Can I help you with that? Here, let me get that for you.
Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, I was like, what was Young and the Restless thinking by having her put that on to meet her siblings?
Okay, it was almost like Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Oh, my God.
The little costume, with the little bib.
Mm-hmm.
The white bib. That's what wow.
It was the shirt, and it was the ugly shorts, and then it was the shoes, and then the hair. I'm like, what did they do to this girl? This high-powered businesswoman, and then she's wearing all this ugly mess for whatever reason. It's like she is wearing the reject line from Hope for the Future.
Well, that's what Cheryl Hines said. She said, no wonder they're returning Hope for the Future stuff.
Nobody wants to wear that except for Claire.
Yeah, I don't know, Claire.
This is what happens when you don't have any friends to help you.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's not a mirror in that house. There's several of them, I'm sure.
Oh, man.
And on top of that, her cousin owns a whole fashion line. That's just... Yeah. That's hilarious to me. I'm like... And the thing is, she was online. She could have went to Fashion Nova. She could have went to Shein. She could have went to any Walmart, any other place.
Like Lauren Fenmore.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's not likable like that yet.
What you say? She's not likable like that yet, huh?
No, apparently not. I mean, people let her go out in public in that.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find the picture. Dang, I thought I still had it, but maybe not. I know I posted it on Instagram, but I think I posted it in the stories, and that story might be gone. Let me see.
It's hard not to forget that outfit. It's just ugly as hell for no reason. She had no reason to wear that. And the thing is, she knows what's fashionable. She keeps pointing out how cute her mom dresses, how cute summer dresses is, and she said, I need to take some tips. We know. We see that.
Girl, that was crazy. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I think, didn't I drop it in the group chat?
Yeah, You dropped several in the group chat. We could not take our eyes off of it.
Couldn't stop.
Yeah, but y'all and y'all 1,000 messages. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm going to send it so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Because we kind of discussed this on, hold on. We kind of discussed this on Wednesday. Yeah, so hold on. Let me pull it up right quick. So you guys who didn't get to the midweek chat, you'll know what we were talking about. Okay.
And maybe that's where Katie was confused by. She was like, what has my sister got on? She looks like my age.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, let me...
We go to school together.
Okay, it should be showing up on the screen momentarily. And then you'll see what we're talking about. So, let me know if you guys see it. Yes, did it show up yet, Bree?
It's taking a little second here. It usually comes up a couple seconds. There we go.
Okay. So, how did we go from Claire coming into town looking like this businesswoman, modern hairstyle? I mean, she had on a business suit. This is the same woman at that time that was flirting with Nate.
Her mama's boyfriend.
How did she go from this to what's on the opposite side of the screen with that shirt and her hair? And it looked like, you know how and we talked about this as well, how they Sora kids, they aged them. Looked like they aged her down. She looked like a 13-year-old on here?
She looked like she could go to school with her sister.
Yeah.
They're infantilizing her.
Yeah. Y'all keep asking why they keep doing it. It's to show that Claire is regressing. Her persona was a business act. Hey, I understand, Amaya. I know, but this is all part of the content that we talk about. It looks like that's what they're doing. They're trying to make her look younger, to maybe she's missing her childhood or something like that, you know. But I'm telling you, that shirt is absolutely ridiculous. I think I referred it to Laura Ingalls on the Little House on the Prairie.
Pretty soon they'll be putting her in dance class. Recitals.
Well, since Victoria's not working, she could be in mommy me classes. She could put her in beauty pageant.
She'll be a stage mom, a momager.
Oh, she would gladly do that. She would gladly do that. Put it in tatas and tiaras.
Oh my God! Did you say tatas and tiaras?
I meant toddlers.
Well, we knew what you meant. You said what you meant.
Oh my God. Okay. But back to Miss Katie. Because we got to talk about Miss Katie. Miss Katie was not happy to see Claire at all.
Katie just looks pissed all the time.
She's just
like her mom.
She's just like her mom. And don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, right.
You know?
That bad look.
Yeah.
And what I love about this is Victoria's getting a taste of her own medicine for how she treated Adam. Because Claire is the new Adam, y'all. And Katie's not going to let up on that at all. Mm-hmm. So Victoria gets to be in her father's position, trying to make the family work. And this is definitely Victoria's karma, in my opinion.
Yeah, and she said, don't try to force this girl on me either. And it gets worse next week. Because Miss Katie is going to demand, and even in front of Victor, to have Miss Claire out.
Wow.
She want her gone.
Decades-long siblings battle being set up here.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm wondering, could she end up trying to do something to set Claire up to get her in trouble, or make people think that she hasn't changed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Look at that face. She's a troublemaker.
Yeah. Wow.
She is just not having it. She's just like her mom.
Yep. All right, we got to fly out to Paris because even though, the whole heart attack was fake, we talked about Audra. When Tucker paid off the guy and he was fine, he wanted to figure out who the mystery investor is. And the first person came to mind was Jack. And he went and accused him too. And Jack is like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I was hoping for an apology from Jack of some sort, or at least a thank you for, saving my sister at least. But they still wanted to put the blame on this man. But anywho, I get where Jack was coming from. Like, why would he create direct competition for his company? I do get that. But I understand that Tucker was trying to fish to see what was going on since, they were trying to acquire Glissade at one point before he got it. But I just very disappointed with Jack, just overall. I don't understand why he still has all this animosity to Tucker when everything was pretty much cleared up by Ashley. And she's already in treatment, so what is he trying to save?
Exactly. And it took Tracy to apologize for the entire family. And I'm like, no, Jack needs to own up the fact that, and he still wants to say that Tucker got some blame in all of this. It's crazy to me. It's like, dude, let it go. It wasn't him. And Alan keep telling him this is something from her childhood. Tucker was nowhere around in her childhood.
Exactly. So then what is his issue? Same with Billy too. Like, what is the issue? Why do they want to constantly blame this man?
Because getting some people, they just have to point the finger somewhere to have somebody or someone or something to blame, so that they can be okay with the fact that sometimes things happen and you can't control it.
Yeah, he does not want to take, because he should have known, because Tucker not only told Jack, he also told Abby, which we got to talk about too. And Jack was so far up Nikki's behind that he hadn't, it still is, and couldn't even figure out or take seriously what was going on with Ashley. He should have, as much as he was behind Nikki, he should have took that same energy with his sister. Nope.
Right, he just showed up to the finish line.
And said, oh my God.
She's already in treatment.
Right, she's now in treatment. Now you want to fly out to Paris. And then that whole conversation with Jack and Tracy, where Tracy was like, thank goodness Tucker was there. He was like, no, you would have been fine. You would have been okay. No.
Tracy's gonna overpower that dude. Seriously?
Yeah.
She was shaking when she was pouring tea.
Exactly.
That's what she can do best. She gonna make you a nice cup of hot tea.
She could lace it with something, but other than that,
oh my God.
Not defending anybody.
Yeah, she was trying to push Tucker out the door until Ashley started screaming, and she told him upstairs, and Tucker went right up there. So for Jack to say, oh, you didn't need Tucker there, you would have been able to handle the situation. No. You should have been there. If but you were busy, telling Nikki at society, oh, well, and Diane, I can still be her friend. I don't care what you say.
Ridiculous.
Like he's a whole mistress too.
Right. Exactly, Cheryl. What was Tracy going to do against that guy? Nothing. Thank goodness Tucker was there, and Tracy gave him all his flowers for that. Hey, Keish. Oh, there you are. Hey, Keish. Yeah.
Sorry I'm so late. I've been all over the place this week.
Girl, listen, it's been
What?
busy. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Jack, and well, I mean, unless you want to quickly comment on some of this storylines that happened this week that you really want to vent about, go ahead. Here's your we'll open up the floor.
Oh no, you guys are good. Stay on track of what you were talking about.
Okay, you ain't mad at nobody. You ain't mad at Audra, Rude Awakening, Abby not checking on her mama and blaming it on them.
Yeah, all that.
Oh,
I think I'm most annoyed with Kyle right now. I don't know if y'all gotten it yet.
yeah. Go ahead. We talked about Kyle, but go ahead.
Just Kyle being typical Kyle. Like, I feel like once a year, Kyle betrays his dad for Victor, or for his own selfish reasons, but he allows Victor to use him like always. So he's just being an idiot like usual.
Mm-hmm.
And about, I don't know, give it about a month or so, he'll be crying to Jack, apologizing, saying he didn't mean to, and that he was just hurt, and blah blah blah, just like he always does.
Yep, I agree.
So
yeah, we were all.
He's got to be.
Go ahead, girl.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish.
I was just gonna say he's got to be the most disloyal family member on that entire show.
Even more than Billy. Yes, I agree with
that. Watching.
It's like if I don't get my way, then I'm taking it out on my whole family. I'm betraying everybody, and with my father's worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it.
See, that's why he deserves Claire. I can't stand Johnny Bravo.
Okay, so for the newbies, Bree always tried to figure out a way to describe some of the characters. Like Cole, she'll call Shaggy, and
from Scooby-Doo, that's what he looked like.
And then when it comes to Kyle, she'll call him Johnny Bravo, because I don't know if you watched that cartoon, the way that Johnny Bravo hair is styled. Yeah, so I guess is that what you're referring to?
He did the same comb over, same everything, same the douchebag mentality, all of that. That's Johnny Bravo.
Oh my goodness.
She is correct.
Yeah.
And I wish I had like a whole chart, because I have it in my head too. I have that Audra has like at least 4 or 5 different nicknames, but for the most part, she's Mattress City, she's Tempur-Pedic, she is Black Light Special. There's plenty I have for people. So, welcome, guys.
Give her a minute. She'll tell you how she really feels.
Right. So where we are right now, Keish, we was talking about Jack and Tucker, and how Jack and Billy is still trying to pin Tucker as the fall guy for what's happening with Ashley. You know, when it's been already cleared that, this is something deep in her childhood. I mean, even Tracy tried to apologize. Tracy had the conversation with Jack, and Tracy was like, look, thank God Tucker was there. And he was like, no, you could have did it by yourself. And yeah. And that's where we are. And then Abby, who Tucker tried to tell her and Devon, and they blew it off as him trying to insert himself in their lives. And now she's like, oh my God, Tucker knew before I did, and y'all didn't tell me. I fault both of them. You should have figured out what's going on with your mama. Check on your mother, like he said. And then I also fault her aunt and uncle for not telling her.
Yep.
I agree. I put that blame majority on Abby, because there's been too many hints for her not to like peep and look. Okay, maybe I need to go over here and see what's going on with my mom. Let me check, because it's been months. How could she not have had any communication with her mother and not think like, okay, maybe this is a red flag. Like maybe I need to go see what's going on with her. maybe I need to really look into what Tucker has told me. She should not have to wait for her family to tell her what's going on with her own mother.
Right.
What if her family wasn't there?
Right.
You should. I mean,
her role, responsibility as a daughter.
And the thing is, she admitted that she saw her mom not acting herself. That should have been your cue to say, "Hey, mom, what's going on with you?" Instead of just like, "Oh, okay, you're all right, cool." No. So you know what? She got to take that L on that one because she didn't check on her mama. So, all right, Keish, what did you think about the standalone episode with your boy?
I didn't finish it. Look, that's how behind I was this week. I was trying to finish up the actual storylines, and I didn't make it all the way through.
Oh, okay.
It's standalone, so I'm gonna go back and watch that tomorrow.
Okay.
I was trying to hurry up and jump on.
Good.
I did see like the very beginning. I saw up to when Mariah and Tessa showed up. That's literally how far I got into it. But I did see the one the part where Nick and Sharon were giving each other those looks in the very beginning with Faith sitting right there, and I'm like, you guys realize your daughter's sitting in the room, right? I just thought that was funny.
That man is sexy. I was saying, like, Phyllis made that man extremely sexy at one point. The goatee, the hair, the energy that he brought in. Oh my goodness, that was the best Nick ever.
Totally.
Yeah, he's always been sexy.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to watch it because, like I said, I had 2 back-to-back calls, 3 hours long each. So yeah, from 7 o'clock this morning to about 1. I was on these calls. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm a Nick and Phyllis fan, and from what I understand, I guess they touched a little bit on it, but you know, it was mostly about.
Yeah, I'm a Nick and Phyllis fan too. So was Summer included at all in his standalone, or was it just his Sharon's family?
It was Sharon Central. It was Sharon's story part 2. They didn't even mention that he had other siblings. He had other children. Barely. It was just Faith. It was Sharon and her kids. That was pretty much it.
They said Summer's name once, I think, but no video of her, I don't think, at all.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, could they have even had video of Faith other than outside of like the current Faith?
They didn't show little girl Faith, no.
Okay.
They didn't show any interaction he has with Summer or his brother. He apparently only has one sibling, which is Victoria.
Right.
And they completely forgot about what's Nikki's oldest son's name? Dylan. Like, they completely just focus on his interaction with Sharon, which I feel that there's more storylines for Nick besides just being with her. But I digress. He looks sexy in all them clips, though.
He looks so good.
Yeah. So I feel like they kind of, when they did Sharon's standalone, they focused her standalone on Nick.
Yeah, that's what one of you guys said that.
I felt that they still touched on other aspects, other storylines for her. But I felt like this is just part 2 of her story. But I mean, congratulations, Josh. I mean, hey, this is a tribute.
I gotta say, Paris Barnes said that they didn't even focus on Christian.
Not a word.
Yeah.
I mean, if they couldn't really talk about Summer, I definitely didn't expect them to talk about Christian.
Yeah.
I noticed that when Faith, when she first walked in the door, she talked about how she got gifts for Mariah and Tessa and the baby, and I'm like, she never really talks about Summer. Every once in a while, like when she was on screen more, like back when Moses was on the show too.
Mm-hmm.
You rarely saw her interact with Summer. It was mainly her and Mariah, which I've always thought was weird considering she grew up with Summer. She didn't know, you know what I mean? Mariah came around later, right?
Well, what about Noah? Did they talk about Noah at all?
A little bit.
They touched on him for like 2 seconds.
Dang. Okay.
And you know what the okie doke was? They had Lily in the credits. I think I said in the group chat, and she wasn't in any of the in the whole episode except for the end, which was the preview for next week. That was it.
Wow. Okay. Oh well. One other question, and I think we covered everything for this week, unless we have not. Do you think Tucker, once he left the suite after accusing Jack, realized that maybe he wasn't the guy that was the investor? Because he had a look on his face like, that conversation didn't go what he expected.
Yeah.
I think he suspects that there's only a few people who would actually want to buy into that company for their own personal gain. I think he just put the 2 and 2 together. It just sucks that we won't really get to see him, in action trying to figure it out because the actors decide to leave the show for temporarily. But maybe once he comes back, he'll figures out that it's Victor, and we get to see full-on Tucker again.
I'm wondering, are they going to recast him? What'd you say?
And they said when his last.
See, they didn't. I mean,
when
his last day.
Sorry.
Is that what you said, Keish?
I thought this week was his last day.
They didn't put a date on it. He just said that Tucker was done. But so I don't know if that meant that one episode or because they filmed that probably a month or so ago. So I don't know if that was his last episode or if it's coming up. I don't know.
Either which way, I'm so sad that he's going to be gone. But can I ask the producers, can we get some more chance then? If Tucker's going to be gone?
That character was so funny. Y'all remember the facial expressions when he was sitting at the bar watching all the stuff go down?
Right. He was funny.
So funny.
I'm trying to see if I see him anywhere in the spoilers for next week, and I don't. So, I don't know.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
If you had a choice between Chance or Nick, which would you go on a date with?
That's not fair.
But you have to make a choice.
I would have to go with Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've crushed on him for at least 2 decades now.
Me too. I used to have a crush on him and Neil for the longest time.
Oh, forever, yeah.
Okay.
But I love me some Chance. I'm sorry, I had to give me some Chance.
Yeah, I mean, Chance is definitely a beautiful man for sure.
Man.
It would be a difficult decision.
It's like a Nick Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, I did that.
All right, did we cover everything on The Young and the Restless?
I think we did.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure that we didn't leave any stones. Oh, one other piece. Victoria and Nikki thought that they were going to actually be able to double team Victor into letting her work at Newman Media. Because she was like, if both of us go there, we can definitely get him to have you work there, Victoria. And he was like, yeah, but no.
Another person who got the okie doke.
Right, you ought to know by now you're not going to tell Victor Newman what he's going to do.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they actually think by the two of them double teaming him that was going to make him cower down to have her work over at Newman Media. And then we also Adam. Oh, Connor did drink soup, so he's moving up. He's progressing. So we had that. And then Adam also told Victor, let me think about it. No.
I was so happy about that. Michael needs to take notes. This is how you throw that job in Victor's face, and don't let this man run you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a no.
I totally agree. I was like, Adam, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
Yeah, I was
and we
glad he
talked.
turned him down.
Go ahead, Keish. What'd you say?
I was just saying I was glad he turned him down.
Yeah, and the thing is that Victor is using him not because I think he's not, well, not only because he's ruthless. I think he needs a fall guy too to take the brunt of this. No, and then that also breaks up the friendship between him and Jack, because Adam and Jack are cool with each other.
They were like father and son. That was his dad until Victor decided he wanted to step up for Adam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm wondering. I'm hoping that he don't change his mind. Focus on his son. Listen. And you don't want to tell me what I'm about to do either? No. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
It's part of the reason why Victor is a trash father, because why, like, just him trying to get his son involved in some whatever scheme he's about to do is just, and you can't even be upfront with him about it.
Nope.
Let him make his own sound like, I know everything, I know all the details. Let him make his own decision instead of trying to trick him or gaslight him or whatever it is that he's trying to do with him to get him to do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't dare allow Nick to do it or Victoria to do it or any other children to do it. It has to be Adam because he's just as ruthless. And I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment coming from Victor, but I was glad that Adam checked him and said, look, I'm not about to get mixed up with that. My child needs me. And I hated the fact that Victor kind of glossed over what was going on with Connor too.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would you want that? I mean, your son, your grandson is on the East Coast right now. He's struggling. His parents are all over the place wondering what the heck is going on. And you want to rope him into your foolishness.
Right. This is what Audra wants to work with, and good for her. This is what happens when you work for Victor Newman. He doesn't care even about his family.
Nope. And also, what'd you say?
I call Audra an idiot.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
That was the first thing we talked about, Keish, on how she turned down a company to be the owner in order to be the CEO, where Victor can tell her what to do.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It makes zero sense.
Maybe that's what she's used to.
I guess, girl. I don't know. That's
I don't
crazy.
know. Maybe she's used to being pimped. I'll never understand it.
Good. I'm so glad you won't ever understand it.
Well, here's one other thing in that conversation between Jack and Tucker. Jack spoke it out, said, why would I want to be in the line of fire with my company being in competition by buying Glissade? That should have also been like, well, who would do that? Victor.
Right.
So it was not only a wake-up call for Tucker to say, hey, okay, maybe it's not Jack, but Jack need to be thinking put his thinking cap on and be like, well, wait a minute. Who would buy their company from him? A competitor? I need to, even if it's not Victor, he need to be looking out because he's one of the biggest cosmetic companies in the world. So if you got somebody up and coming that might try to take your spot, your radar needs to be on, no matter if it's Victor or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, he's in his feelings because he's mad at Tucker for nothing.
He's mad at everybody.
Really.
Except Nikki. Yeah. Oh, one other thing. Victoria not Victoria. Nikki not respecting boundaries. Victoria told that woman 6 times, no. I don't want to work there. And she kept using emotional blackmail to get her to do it.
I thought the same thing. I thought, wow, man, that is really, she's telling you she can't. And still pushing and pushing and pushing.
And it's just to be petty against Adam, who's done nothing to these ladies.
I know.
Nothing.
He ran that company for years without any help.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, is that Adam isn't even thinking about trying to go to Newman Media. And they already got him pegged for taking a position and making sure you don't leave. He's not thinking about you or that job.
Right.
So, get over yourself. Okay, I think we covered everything else now, right?
Yeah. We're good.
All right, so we did mention, which technically leads us over into bold, but we did mention the fact that Trevor St. John, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, that he put out a tweet that, and I think I still have that tweet. Yeah, where he said these three, oh, no, not that one. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it. I must have got rid of it. Anyway, that Tucker's come, Tucker's go, and this one is in go mode or something like that. So he's officially out. And I hate to see him go because I wanted to see him with Phyllis, if not Nick. If Nick couldn't get with Phyllis, I would have wanted to see Tucker with Phyllis. But I do know that Trevor St. John have multiple projects outside of Young and the Restless, and they are his own projects. He was interviewed quite a bit in regular TV media about it, and he's been posting it all over his Instagram social media. So he's moving on to bigger and better things. So congratulations, Trevor St. John. We'll miss you, guy.
Don't be gone too long.
I know. So fun. Great timing, great actor.
Okay, there's one other thing that I want to address, and we normally don't have that problem here, but it has been going viral on social media. When we say things about, the characters, how they act, Audra is being crazy, or Jack is not thinking with a stinking cap, we're speaking strictly on on the characters. We do not bash, attack, verbally say things that is disparagingly to any of them. And a lot of that has been happening in social media over the past 24 hours. Some of you probably know Eric Braden took to social media to defend Brighton James, Christelle Khalil, and what's the guy that plays Nate? Sean Dominic. Because there was some very horrible things said about them. And this isn't the first time that, this has happened. The same thing kind of sort of happened when Wayne Brady, when he played Dr. Buckingham on when he played Dr. Buckingham on The Bold and the Beautiful, and he was attacked as well. Okay, we don't support, tolerate any of that. I don't see that with my soapies in the comment section or in our social media platforms at all. So I just want to mention that. Keep up the good work. We have fun over here, but that we have a zero tolerance for that as well. So, and I know that there's other soap platforms that have spoken out about it as well. So I wanted to make sure I spoke about it with you all live. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to throw in 2 cents on that?
I think she's been called everything under the sun by the comment section.
Blocked by everybody too.
Right.
Yeah, she's been called every type of muffet, every type of animal, every type of everything. But let her go ahead and try to get a life of her own and stop worrying about the actors who are paid to do a job.
Correct.
What a hideous stew to sit in.
All by herself, which is well deserved.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why she thought that she could say what she say and it was just going to float through social media as is. And yeah, Eric Braeden clapped back real hard.
I sure did.
I really like him so well.
And the interesting thing is
respect level that he has for his coworkers, and I appreciate it. And plus, it's just disrespectful and unwarranted at that matter.
Yeah.
exactly. I sent it to my daughter, you know, because she's a active, pretty much been an activist herself where she is. And when she read Eric Braden's comment, all she could say is period.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the kids say. Period.
Period.
Nothing else to be said, but let her get a life of her own and stay off of people's pages. It's disrespected. I hate when people do that.
Exactly.
Get a freaking life.
Yep.
You
So
feel like you go take a shower after you read something like that. It's so dirty and gross.
yeah, I know she probably didn't expect the backlash, but when you got the actors coming for you, that's
The
bad.
greatest of all time.
Thank you. That's bad.
And other shows just like blocking you from the show itself. That and it's that right there. Yeah. Oh well. I'm not gonna give that person any more energy.
Right. So I just
Say
wanted
one
to
more thing, if I may.
go ahead, girlie.
I love how the community all rallied and said no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Same.
And we're not doing it over here either. We had a little bit of a stint a couple of months back ago where, you know, some folks had some things to say about Trish and wanted her off. We're not doing that.
No.
Oh my goodness, I'm still here. Wait, isn't there a song, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? I'm sure there was no fear. They just probably didn't like my voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, for those newbies that are here, this podcast has been going on for 5 years. Keish was the originator with myself back in 2019, 2020. And then Trish came on in 2022. She's been here 2 years. She filled in for Keish, who was away serving our country when she was deployed in 2022. And then, of course, Bree and J Money, my mods, and also my co-host, also came to the show as well. And so we want to make sure we provide quality content. We make it fun. We make it entertaining. We do not entertain negativity, verbal attacks and things like that. You will be promptly removed.
Yes.
Period.
Yep. And may I just say thank you for allowing me to be on the podcast and to have filled in for Keisha while she was off serving our country. And thank you so much, Keisha. We really appreciate you. That time in my life was actually really challenging, and being able to do this was a bright spot in my week. So I love hanging out with you guys, and I think y'all are just fabulous, amazing people. And I love that we can talk about these characters with reckless abandon. And I love that we respect the craft of what these hardworking actors and crew and cast and writers do on a regular basis.
Yep.
And I second that as well, especially coming in since last year. I really appreciate this. It's a break, especially a mom of autistic son. I really look forward to this and talking about the show that we love. We're having fun, you guys. It shouldn't have to be where we're attacking people. And thankfully, we're in a safe environment. We can laugh at all these ugly outfits and how the characters are moving.
Right.
And keep it moving.
Right. Exactly. So when, we see people calling Audra or sometimes Brooke Tempur-Pedic, we're talking about the characters only. We're not talking about Catherine Kelly Lang or Zalika Silver. Okay?
Exactly. And I think we're grown to know the difference.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Oh, Marquella Scott, Bree says that her son is autistic as well.
Oh, I feel you, girl. I feel how you feel. last year. So it's a journey we're going through. So much love and respect for that.
Yep. All right, getting back on fun stuff. Moving into bold, I gotta say Josh Morrow's son, Crew, will be playing Will Spencer Jr., which is Will and Katie's son. Did you guys see a date on when he's coming over?
No, I thought it was this week, especially since they made the announcement.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I figured he was going to come in like on Friday when Katie and Bill were sitting together, but but I'm glad they aged him up. But he looked just like his daddy.
Don't he? He looked like a young version of Josh when he was playing, a young Nick on the show.
He's going to have no issues in the daytime world.
Well, let me ask you this right quick. Oh, go ahead, Trish.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, real quick, in the flashback scenes today, I was like, oh my gosh, we're literally seeing what Josh Morrow's son is going to look like next week when we see him.
Okay, so they're saying in the comment section it's August 1st.
Oh, we're a month away then. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you a question before we move into what happened this week on Bold. I don't know what age he's going to be. Is he a teenager or a 20-year-old? Could he be a little bit of competition for RJ and Luna?
Absolutely.
Well, wait a minute. No. They're brother and sister. Sorry. Allegedly.
That's going to blow up. Bill ain't that girl's daddy.
I'm glad you guys are saying that.
I ain't saying that. That's quiche.
I don't believe it because I said it a few weeks ago when they did that test, how it was wrapped up too perfectly with the bow because Bill wanted it to be him, Luna and Poppy wanted it to be him. It was just too good to be true. So I think there's something else behind the paternity, and I think we're going to find that out, and then I think Luna and Will and RJ are going to be a little triangle thing going on. I know in real life that kid is 19. So, I mean, he's right there in the same little age bracket, I guess. Because I think Lisa Yamada is, 21 or 22?
Yeah, she's very young.
So, even if the test was wrong, it still can't be blamed on Poppy.
Yeah, how would they do that? Lee brought that test in clear, free as hers. It was sealed.
She never touched it.
She never touched it. So even if the kid is, if he's not the father, you can't point that at her.
I will not believe it until they go to a medical lab and know what touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't. I don't want them to connect her to the Spencer or the Forrester family biologically because then they're tying up who can be paired with who again. So if she's not Bill's daughter, then she can have the triangle or whatever with RJ and Will if there is going to be a triangle.
Yeah. Well, they would have to. They would have to end the Bill is her father storyline before they can move him into that triangle, because other than that, they're half brother and sister, and that's gross.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be like Devon and Lily.
Yeah,
they
that's
tried
true.
to test that down at one point.
Yeah, that didn't get too far either.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna wrap it up. I feel like they'll wrap it up before he starts airing on the show, like before he comes home.
Oh, you talking about the paternity?
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't think they're going to drag that out for too long.
Well, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I hope not. I agree with that.
I think it'll be a situation if she's not his daughter, is that test was just a false positive. You know what I'm saying? Not that somebody tampered with it. It's just it's a bad test. Just like you can have a false positive with these other at-home tests.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry. Especially for a billionaire, I honestly think that you know, you would have had somebody with an actual lab do the test, even as a follow-up. I mean, okay, do the home test, be excited, but then go double verify.
Yeah.
I agree with that. He's a whole billionaire. He should have the DNA diagnostics on retainer, especially since he was. He has 4 loose kids out in the world. Except for Will. But he had 3 loose kids just popping up on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know, one of his buddies owns a lab company. They're all billionaires. They hang out together. They all own industry. One of them's got to own a lab.
Exactly. There's no excuse for Bill to do this. That's why I feel those results are finicky.
Well, okay, so what was the other thing I was going to say about that test? Well, the false positive is one. So there's another. I keep seeing people talk about some medical emergency that somebody's going to end up in a hospital the first week of July. I don't know. A lot of people was thinking it's hoping these headaches. Could it possibly be a situation with Luna and she needs some type of transplant or a donor for something, and maybe they've realized that Bill can't donate because he's not the father, because they would need some type of test and realize that. Could go either way, Hope or Luna.
Well, remember, this girl thought she was pregnant at one point. She wasn't feeling well. So they could go back to that where she's not feeling well and she needs to go to see a doctor, see what's going on with her symptoms. I'm wondering if that's how maybe Lee might end up finding out that he wasn't a match. But I know we'll stay tuned. I know we went off the tangent a little bit.
Yeah, we did. Dang.
Uh-oh, now they know we really do like the storyline.
Right. All right. Let's get back over to where we supposed to do. Also, I forgot to mention, for all of the new people, besides YouTube, we're also on Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, Rumble. We're on. We have a blog on Medium and Facebook group. And that Facebook group has been growing pretty well over the past weeks. Shout out to, once again, Dewan and Delmonica for keeping the content up and going. They're always posting in that Facebook group daily. I appreciate, your engagement over there. So thank you very, very much. But yeah, that Facebook group is growing. So any newbies in the chat, let me know if you want to join the group, and I'll drop the link. But in the meantime, we got to talk about Bold. Alrighty, so Bold and the Beautiful for the week of the 17th through the 21st. Sheila smiles deviously as she eavesdrops on Brooke telling Deacon that Hope has feelings for Steffi's husband. Fuming, Steffy refuses Ridge's idea to have her run Forrester with Brooke. Brooke becomes co-CEO despite Steffi's protest. Bill and Katie reminisce, and Poppy asks Lee for another chance. Sheila eavesdrops again as Tom confesses to Deacon that Sheila freaks him out. And Thomas returns engaged. Well, we don't know that yet. But Thomas returned, and Tom and Poppy recognize each other before Sheila threatens them. Alright, so you know what? Let's get the Poppy and Lee situation, since that's a small piece. What did you think about Lee? Poppy, do you think she was coming in good faith? And then Lee and her response to her wanting to, just bury the hatchet.
I'll let Trish and Keish go. I know I said what I said on Wednesday.
I honestly don't remember the scene. I remember her going. I remember her going there and talking. I remember watching the scene. I just don't remember what the end result was.
Well, I got a couple of things out of that scene, and I don't know which one is going to come to fruition. So, if she was sincere, and she truly believes that the test was right because that's the test they took and it showed that he was the dad. I get wanting to reconcile with your sister after having a battle, over a decade and a half to 2 decades long. I guess 2 decades because how old's Luna? 21. I get wanting to bury the hatchet. I get wanting your sister back. If she is faking it, I don't know why, because Lee's the one who did the test, and Poppy's gotten what she wants, and Lee is still a doctor doing her thing. She still has her son. It is good news that Luna knows who her father is, if it is in fact who her father is. So I don't know. I mean, is she faking it? What's the motive?
Yeah. And I remember her telling that story about them being children and her mom fussing at her and Lee going in and giving her, I guess, a hug or a kiss or something to make her feel better.
Yeah.
So she seemed genuine when she was telling that story.
I'm hopeful for the genuine part, but we'll see.
I felt that she was just taking a victory lap when she came in, because other than that, she would not be showing up at Lee's office for anything. And I saw the comments online in regards to like Lee's reaction, and the thing is, not every sibling relationship is going to be the same. There's some siblings who just will not get along, and it sounded like from the story that Poppy was telling everybody that, look, Lee has always just been there to save her from her disobedient behavior. And it seems like Lee is constantly trying to save her sister from something. And if she's not, willing to move forward, and that's her decision. I mean, not everyone is going to get along, especially in families, but at least she made the effort that was there and she can move on with her life. Yeah. That's all you can really do in those situations.
I feel like, though, there's not getting along and there's hatred, and it's almost as if Lee hates her sister. Yeah. Like, for her to, for instance, the way that she was basically trashing her to Katie and RJ, and it's like, I could see if you didn't get along with your sister, most people would just not say anything. But it's like she is out to get other people to feel the way that she feels about her sister. So I feel like that's a different level of, it's not just them not getting along. She seems like she truly just hates her sister.
But it doesn't come out of nowhere, though. It's not like Poppy was just innocent in all this. She almost got that woman fired, and it seems like she's constant. And wasn't Poppy living with her at one point? So it's not like she never cared about her sister. I think maybe she's just fed up with her mess, and it's like, hey, she's not going to change. I don't want to have to deal with that. And there's a lot of sibling relationships that I know that are not like that exactly, but where the siblings just don't get along. And I feel like in time, that's something that has to kind of take time. And maybe Lee is just a little bit more stubborn, and she doesn't feel that Poppy's coming in genuine. I honestly feel that Poppy came in with a victory lap, personally. But if Poppy wants to have a real relationship with her sister, she's got to allow that to kind of take time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that part of it. She put it out there. I also agree with what Keith said. There's a different level of hatred with her. I mean, she ain't budging. She brought in the whole story about her, bringing biscuits in the room when she was a kid because she was crying. And I saw a soft moment in Lee, and then she was right back to square one.
I think she's just fed up, and it's not like she keeps saving Poppy, because she even tried to get her. I got you the job at the gift shop, Penelope.
It was a gift shop.
And she took her sister in when she was on hard times and everything. So it's not like she's completely. She turned away from her sister. She's tried to help her sister. She's just probably just sick and tired of her mess, which clearly Poppy is still on.
Well, and sometimes even if you are a mess and your siblings are trying to help you, sometimes their help comes with a price that's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's true.
I can totally respect. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Keish.
I can totally respect Lee setting her boundaries with Poppy, and maybe she doesn't want a relationship with her. I just don't respect her standing in there basically trashing her sister to complete strangers. For why?
Yeah.
What is the point in doing that? That if you don't like your sister, that's you. That's between you and her, and that's a you problem. Going out there and trashing your sister to anybody that will listen is something totally different to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's just hatred, and you just can't stand her, and you want everybody else to hate her too.
Yeah.
Let other people make their decision about her. You don't need to go around talking to strangers, telling them how much you hate your sister and how horrible of a person she is, because you guys don't have the same standards or morals, or she took a different path than you did XYZ for her, and she's not living up to your expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
I agree, Gail Lewis. She said, Lee and Penelope need help. I wish they would cast a therapist. I know, like Taylor. I agree.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
That entire show needs a therapist.
Exactly. Speaking of therapists, I wish they would bring Taylor back, or a Taylor back,
I fear that we'll never get her back.
No.
I would.
And I don't want her to come back. If they're only going to bring her back to use her for specifically Ridge and Brooke, to give them some type of angst or a storyline, I prefer to not even have her back, because I'm tired of them using her like that.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we got to talk about Miss Hope Logan, because she admitted to her mother this week that she is crushing on Finn. And of course, I gotta give it to Brooke. Brooke said, I don't want you to be like me. At least she didn't try to make it look like, a pot calling kettle. She was like, look, I know what that looks like. I've been down that road, so.
Is Brooke going to Bible study or something? She's an old, changing woman.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Brooke to encourage Hope to go after Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not, but was that this week when she looked at Hope and clapped her hands in her face and told her she needed to snap out of it?
Yeah.
Or get it together, or whatever it was she said to her.
Was that last week or this week?
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I do know that she had that confession at the cabin this week. But we got to remember, I think if this was old Brooke, she probably would say, you know what, you are better suited than Steffi would be.
Oh, yeah.
I knew
she would have pursued that with the quickness. She would have talked to Finn. She would have planted seeds. That would be the old Brooke. That's why I'm like, she's a changed woman. Did she get baptized? Is she going to Bible study? Is she a 7-day evangelist? What is going on with Brooke?
She's singing through the keyhole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, what? Brooke telling her, you can't have feelings for Steffi's husband. Don't be like me. And I'm like, okay, Brooke, you growing up, girl.
It took her about 50 years.
Because when Liam was married or with Steffi, she would always try to push Hope to, he always loved you. She should be your husband, not Steffi's.
She put on a whole wedding in the backyard at the Cliff House for Hope and Liam.
Mm-hmm.
And Steph told him
I will say though, not that I'm making excuses for Brooke or for Hope. The show has always allowed them to use the excuse of she was with Liam first and Steffi was the one that interfered and broke them up. So from that moment on, regardless of how many breaks Liam and Hope had, that how many breakups they had that they did on their own, it was like from that moment on, because Steffi was the one that interfered first.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Liam was always Hope's, and it didn't matter that he was married to Steffi. They always allowed both Hope and Brooke to use the excuse of, you were robbed. They locked you in that gondola all those years ago, and you guys never had a fair shot from that moment since. Regardless of the fact that Steffi was out of the country for what, like a year and a half or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When Hope and Liam were together at one point, and she decided to switch from Liam to Wyatt. Never mind that fact. Never mind the fact that Hope was in Europe for what, 2 years, 3 years, or something like that. But the show has just always allowed them to use that as an excuse. And with this one, with Finn, there would be no excuse that they could use, that they could hide behind to justify why Hope felt like she was entitled to go after Finn.
Right.
Oh, a lot of people are posting how they want her to, because she is better suited for him. And I'm thinking, why would you want your girl to be with a guy who was with the other woman that all the other guys were with?
When she had a man who was all for her.
And would never, because it's his sister. That was perfect.
Mm-mm.
Right. Well, and not only that, but Thomas has maintained for 5 years solid now that Hope is the only one for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So it makes more sense that I would feel like her fans would want her paired with him versus Steffi's husband, who has literally only had eyes for Steffi since he's been on this show and hasn't even looked at another woman in that way.
Right.
Exactly.
Why would you want her in another situation with a man who is going to love Steffi more than Hope?
Yep.
Even if Steffi and Finn divorce or break up at some point, he's going to be one of those characters that he is always going to go back to Steffi.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Marquella Scott, she said, didn't Steffi try to steal Oliver when he was with Hope? Yes, but her mother ended up actually sleeping with them.
Yeah, at that masquerade ball, because she thought that was rich. Okay.
Which I'm like, girl, you've been on that thing for about 20-something years. You couldn't tell the difference, but anyway.
Yeah.
That was one of the most ridiculous stories.
Exactly.
I could not believe they did that.
Same.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. How could you not know after being with a man for 20 years that that person that you were with downstairs with mask on wasn't rich? You didn't know that?
Right. You couldn't tell by his body in general. Yeah, the way he kissed you, like even his physique alone. I would think that a mask would not deter you from knowing that that's your husband.
Right. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
That storyline.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. It's crazy. But what's interesting, because the spoilers are out, because I thought with everything coming up next week they were going to hide it from us again like they've been doing lately. Hope is now going to try to come in between Paris and Thomas.
Oh my god. I have so many issues with Hope this week.
I'm here for that.
So, but my thing is that, so are you done daydreaming about Finn? Is that little crush over?
She was in heat because Thomas was gone and she was horny. So someone had to occupy that time.
Oh Lord, we got so many moving parts to talk about. Okay, so we're done with Finn and Lee. Let's talk about Finn, Katie, and Bill, because we had some snippiness this week. And I know we talked about it on Wednesday. She was like, "You can go home now."
That was funny.
That was hilarious. I'm like, Poppy, what are you going to do? You don't pay not one bill in that house.
Oh, she pays one bill.
Oh, that's a good one, Trish. Oh, she paid.
Bill.
Wait a minute. She paid Bill royally, I guess, huh?
Wrong with you? Somebody said online earlier today, or it might have been yesterday, on one of the pages said, I bet Bill's gonna spoil Luna. He's a billionaire. He'll be able to spoil her. And I'm like, I want to be spoiled.
Oh my goodness!
I know people were annoyed with Poppy saying what she said to Katie, but I don't know. Like, yes, was she being a little over the top and probably a little bit? She's doing a little bit too much because that was like her first day there.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we talking about that first day that she moved in, or
this one,
like the second time Katie came over?
Okay.
This is where Bill and Katie had a conversation. He asked Katie to stay, and then this is after Poppy had left from Lee's doctor's office and saw Katie there. She's like, the guard let you in? Are you sure? And then Katie was like, yeah, Albert let me in. I've known him for years. Yes.
Y'all, I had to laugh.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, okay.
Albert, isn't it?
Okay, so I got a question. Go ahead, Trish. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I thought for some reason I had it that Albert was Batman's name, and all day I've been thinking,
Lord,
it's Bill Batman, but it's not. It was Alfred. So I digress.
Girl, you so funny.
Sorry.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question about Katie. Is this all about her worrying for Bill, or does she got feelings now for Bill, or both?
Oh, she is definitely standing in a little puddle. She definitely is.
she's just standing in a little puddle.
She is never not going to have feelings for Bill, even when she says she doesn't.
Yeah.
And he left that door open for her.
He did.
Still.
He sure did. My Katie, you always be my Katie, and all this kind of stuff. They had that little conversation, and then he went upstairs, and Poppy came in like, "What are you doing here?"
and Poppy went to work to try to keep her man the next morning. She sure did. I mean, that is the only bill that she has to worry about paying with that man.
It's an expensive one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not much if he's still looking at Katie.
Maybe she can't afford it.
Oh my goodness. And then she forced that kiss upon him in front of Katie, and Katie started cringing.
Oh, that was cringy, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you can tell why Poppy did it. She did that on purpose. You know, it wasn't like Bill leaned in for a kiss or a peck. She turned her face up to him and kissed him. I'm like, girl, stop it. You know what you're trying to do to that girl.
Doing way too much.
Yeah, you're doing too much. You're going to take a seat for that one.
Yep.
Poppy was moving like a side chick. She was like trying to claim her position with this man. She's competing with the wife almost. And my thing is, Poppy, you cannot control this man and who he wants to have in his house. You can be mad that Katie's there, but he asked her to be there. He wanted her to stay.
Okay, so here's a bigger question for you guys. Say Luna wasn't his daughter, but remember, Poppy and Bill are still dating. Would he had asked her to move in then? Probably not, right?
Nope.
Doesn't seem like it.
Not yet.
This man hasn't even said I love you yet, still.
Mm-hmm. So basically the only reason why he's asking is because of his connection with Luna, not per se their relationship.
Well, could be. I mean, I don't know. I think he is enamored with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's liking the attention. I think he's liking the relationship. But love, that's a whole nother ballgame. It's another level.
Exactly. She got to really work up to that. So she's got to have some more good mornings to work up to that.
Well, yeah, no, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it would be a valid question of her to ask him though when it comes to Katie, considering Will isn't living there. You guys aren't married anymore. So what are his boundaries with her? Is it okay for her to just come over whenever, even if you're not there, and do whatever at the house because it's Katie? Or I live here too now. Do I, like, if I'm uncomfortable with this, are you going to tell her that she needs to call? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like she's still, I feel like it's reasonable for her to ask those questions.
Yeah, I understand.
Because if I live somewhere, I would want to know, like,
can your ex keep right, can your ex keep exactly, can your ex keep popping up anytime she feel like it?
He clearly made that utterly clear that, look, she's going to show up. And all due respect to Poppy, you're just a live-in girlfriend. You just moved in about a week ago. If you were the wife, then that would be something completely different. Then you would have more of a say. But clearly, the way he's treating Poppy in this situation is like, look, enjoy the accommodations, but I'm going to run my house how I choose to.
Yeah, Duval 904, that's a new one. Welcome. Katie was not thinking about Bill until Brooke and Donna asked Katie how she felt about Bill. What do you think?
Yep.
And it kind of really made, I hate that they didn't say what happened with her and Carter, because like, while all of a sudden you want to go back underneath Bill, and he wanted your sister first.
Right. And then 5 minutes later.
About a year ago.
Right. 5 minutes later, he's like, okay, well, I couldn't get Brooke. Let me ask Katie.
Right.
And I mean, and I think we said this on Wednesday. Right after she said no to Bill, Carter came and picked her up from the house.
Yep. Yeah, that to me was so. That was really cruel on Katie's part, and I took her as she could be petty, but until she had Carter pick her up, I didn't realize she could be cruel. I guess I should have known from the situation with Bridget and Nick, but I didn't.
I didn't see that as cruel. She wasn't in a relationship with Bill. And plus, this man slept with her sister, almost had a baby with her sister. He deserved some of what he was getting.
No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, for Katie, I thought that was on another level.
Oh, it's not typical for her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Okay. All right. We are moving on. We got to talk about what's going down at Irgidino. Everybody is eavesdropping.
Y'all. He put toe appetizers on the menu.
I didn't see that. When? Today? Did you see that today?
That was what they were in the back taking the order, and they were making fun of it. And he was like, I can't believe people are ordering these toes. He's like, yeah, I added them to the menu after the wedding, and people are really buying them up. I'm like, they're selling the toes.
Oh my gosh.
Are they cheese sticks? Are they desserts? Like, what are the toes?
I think they're desserts, aren't they?
I don't know what those things were.
Everyone had a foot fetish, apparently.
I didn't know about. I'm learning.
That is so nasty.
I know. Okay. So the first thing that happened with eavesdropping earlier in the week is that Brooke could not make a phone call. She had to go to Il Giardino and have a whole conversation with Deacon to tell him that Hope is having inappropriate feelings for another man.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Well, like, why does Deacon need to know that?
Honestly, Keish, I thought the same thing. It's not like she's 12, they're co-parenting. They are not co-parenting. They have never co-parented. That's so ridiculous.
And you're telling your daughter, you're telling Hope's business. Like, that's her business that she hasn't shared with anybody but you.
Yep.
Unless Brooke needed somebody to talk to. You can't tell Ridge because that's Steffi's father. I mean, who else could she have that conversation
Her
except...
sister.
Yeah, like they hear everything else.
Which sister?
Donna or Katie. Or
Now,
Either
you
one,
know...
Donna or Kelly. Or Katie.
Yeah, I guess, but we didn't see them this week. So obviously she felt that she needed to talk to Deacon. Oh my gosh.
Dumbest person in town.
Well, she was...
Out at the restaurant
Mhm.
where Sheila could be. And
Right. And well, Sheila was there too. And she overheard all of it, which is that picture at the top corner. She was happy to hear it too.
This changed woman. Look
Right.
at her.
She was especially happy to hear that when Brooke said that Hope supports her marriage and she wants to believe that that Sheila has changed and blah blah blah. When she heard that, I'm like, she done hooked her into Hope now.
And she lumped Finn into that too.
Because you know how Sheila is. Once she thinks somebody is accepting her, she latches on. She latches on for dear life.
Because she's insane and doesn't understand boundaries and is a psychopath.
Now, I think the way Brooke described it, her explanation, she was saying, you're her father, so I wanted you to know. You know, and I need you to keep her. And she said that she wanted Deacon to keep an eye out, keep up with her or something.
I'm like,
she said keep an eye on her and Finn because they hang out here a lot.
Right.
I'm like, what? Now y'all just making up stuff.
Right. And how would she know? That she's going off information based off what Hope told her. And, like, Brooke didn't even clue her in on the affair with Thomas and the stuff that she was dealing with Liam. And, like, why all of a sudden the stuff with Finn? You went to the place of employment where you know that woman's going to pop up. Brooke, of all people, should know how Sheila works, if anything. They were BFFs at one point. In case the audience didn't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just a dumb twist. It was a dumb way for Sheila to find out.
Yep.
As if because they couldn't think of another way for her to find out. This was the most lazy, easy button approach to Sheila finding out that Hope had feelings for Finn.
It would be better if she had overheard a conversation with Brooke and Hope and leave it completely out of it. And then I think that would make for more devious Sheila to, do her magic on the show.
But then if that happened, they wouldn't be able to have her testing Deacon.
Oh, yeah, yep, you're right. Because that was part of the Tuesday spoiler. Was that she was going to test Deacon. And she didn't look too happy about him keeping that secret.
That changed
business.
I didn't hear you. Say it again?
She said that changed woman.
Oh, I thought somebody said something about business, though.
Oh, I said that's that's his daughter's business. That's not Sheila's business or her right to know anything about him.
Well, she definitely started throwing things out there to try to see if Deacon was going to bite, and he did not. So, I don't know. I think they're slowly stacking the deck in order for her to pop. Because if she started feeling some kind of way about Deacon keeping secrets, we got to talk about the situation between her and Tom. So, I don't know. Is
it fair, though, to say that Deacon is keeping a secret from her, other than it's his daughter's business that he doesn't need to share with anybody?
Well, they had already...
Especially considering Brooke wasn't supposed to tell him, because I'm pretty sure Hope told her to keep it to herself.
I guess it goes back to the conversation that Deacon and Sheila had, that they weren't going to keep secrets from each other. And so, with her holding on to that thread, she felt that he, as her husband, wasn't going to keep that from her either. So,
Well, it's not his secret.
Right.
That is true.
I don't know what Sheila thought. I'm just, it just seemed like she was not happy about the fact that Deacon didn't say, hey, Hope got a crush on your son, so
That's that entitlement that she feels a right to be in, I guess, know that information.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a woman who thought she had a right to crash a wedding, so.
Yeah. That's good. Anita said all this luxury and they don't even use locks. I guess she's thinking about
Right.
Katie walking into the house.
Right.
They never lock doors on this show.
For 30-something years.
Right. Anybody
No
could.
locked doors, no doorbell cameras, no cameras on the property. They don't have any of it.
I mean, I've got a storm door and a regular door, and I lock both of them. If I don't know you're coming and you knock on my door, I'm not answering.
Exactly. I agree, Trish. I totally agree. All right. So the second part of this whole scenario is right after that conversation, Tom was eavesdropping, hearing Sheila and Deacon go back and forth. And then Tom decided to tell his boss about his wife and about her past, and that he was doing research. And he said, look, I know she has a past. She's changed. And Tom was like, yeah, but you still married her after that?
That's a legitimate question. Like, this man did nothing wrong. He did nothing out of the ordinary that a normal person would do. In research, who you working for?
Okay, I agree with the research. You can do that at home, but going to your the owner of the company you work for and talk about their spouse, yeah, no.
I mean, it's not an ordinary situation, though. He helped save Sheila, and he's probably looking at like, okay, what did I just save? Like,
What did I just say?
Yeah, like she did all of this, and now what?
Aditha Lee says it made me realize why Tom is homeless. He's all in his boss's business. I mean, as much as they seem comfortable with each other, that's your boss. You don't go talk. Ain't no way I go talk to my boss. Even though I did research and I find out that his wife had this history, I'm not going to go up to him and say, look, let me tell you about your wife. He'll be like, let me show you the door. He'll be like, let me show you the door. I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I'm sorry. I said, so did Hollis, though. He told him about Deacon, and he still works for them. I mean, it's Deacon and Sheila's got to get over the fact that, yes, she has a past, and people can look up about it. So she's got to keep that pushing. And same way Deacon kept it pushing, like, hey, she's changed. We're not going to worry about it. It is what it is. And even Tom was like, okay, I'll leave it alone. It's Sheila who has an issue that everyone is questioning her past, as if she hasn't put the time and effort to have a questionable past. That's my only thing.
Yep. Well, Tom backed up, and it switched from him focusing on Sheila to him focusing on Poppy.
It sure did. Boy, that went real fast.
I know. So I don't know how long they're going to have him, maybe he'll be eyeballing Sheila, but according to the spoiler next week, both Sheila and Deacon is supposed to give him an opportunity to live his dreams or something. So I don't know what they're doing for him. So I don't know. I don't know how long he's supposed to be on the show.
Okay, if he has carrying that guitar around, his dream is probably to be a musician, and they're going to have it play or something?
Like live music or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But here's a plot twist, and I created this in my head earlier. I'm not saying this is going to happen. Poppy is not happy to see Tom. What if... And, between the fact that he had an interaction with Sheila and now he's going to have an interaction with Poppy, could Poppy do something to Tom where Sheila get blamed for it?
I didn't think that far.
Because she is not happy to see this man, and if he's holding, there's some secrets that Luna is supposed to find out about her mom, or she's holding back. This man knows the tea on this woman.
Oh yes, without question. And people were saying, like, and I saw it earlier in the chat, that they think that this is Luna's father. I'm like, there is no way in my opinion. I cannot see this. Plus, she doesn't do broke men. She made that clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe he might be her. I'm trying to find a YouTube friendly word. He might be her pauper friend, her pauper dealer, or something.
Are you talking about her mints dealer?
Yes, her subscriber mints dealer. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm curious to find out what this is with these two, because this man show up at the house with the pizza all sinister, like when they showed that Friday preview. He went
from all nice, helpful Tom with delivering toast for Il Giardino customers to showing up with a pizza looking like Jack Nicholson's character.
Yeah, he almost sounded like. What is that movie where they say hello, Clarice?
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
He came standing in that doorway, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" I want to know the tea. And I'd be like, "Look, Tom, let me holler at you. What's going on with Poppy?"
Right?
Exactly. He clearly got all the information, because he was like, well, hi, Poppy. The way he said it is like she owed him some money or something.
It's something. I don't think that this man is Luna's father
At all.
Nope. I mean,
unless he knows something about her past and who her real father is, then I can see that.
Or maybe Poppy was a mule for him, or for people they knew.
You think they maybe ran scams or something together?
Something, because she had to survive somehow.
Exactly. And she never lived. She didn't have a place to live until she came. I mean, she lived somewhere, but then she came and lived with her daughter and slept on the couch. I mean,
yeah.
Something's definitely off, and clearly they've known each other for a long time. Enough for him to call her Poppy, so like he didn't even call her by her legal name.
Right.
So I cannot wait, but something tells me it has to do with her paternity, because when he popped up, Bill and Poppy were talking about Luna and the paternity thing. So I think he might know who her real dad is.
What if he was one of the musicians at the music festival where Bill and Poppy actually met?
That's possible.
That's possible, but it created a whole new storyline for this man. Like, I'm curious, like, how did he become homeless? How does he know Poppy? This is very fresh and refreshing.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It's fresh and refreshing. I didn't think that he would stay on this long, but now I need to keep him on because I need to know all the details about Poppy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, or did he work at the hospital that she was at one point?
J Money was saying that too. I cannot see that. This man was surprised that there was computers in the library.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
He could have worked as an orderly or a custodian or something, or a maintenance guy.
Yep, all kinds of positions.
Yeah, he could have did something. They know each other either from the hospital or from the festivals. One of those two. Because that's the only two storylines that we know of her.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the mints. I mean, he could be behind the mints. Maybe they know that she was a real, a deep druggie. I don't know.
Either which way, this made Poppy's storyline a little bit more exciting. I'm like, okay. This was a twist, because everyone online was saying that Tom was Deacon's daddy. I'm like, I can kind of see that, but this little twist here, there's something not right about Poppy, and I've been saying that, and that's why I don't believe this DNA test at all.
Girl, I don't think you would have believed that DNA test if Tom wasn't even on the show.
At all. I don't trust anything that Poppy says, and I'm glad that the storyline is going the way it's going, proving my point.
She's still trying to make Finn Luna's father.
I know, or Jack.
Or Jack, but I just don't see. It's just not
Jack for sure.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Because Lee is mad for a reason. It would not be because of Bill. It would have to be because of either her son or her husband. Or her ex-husband, let me say that.
Well, the thing is, even if it comes out, like we were saying, maybe Tom know who the father is or somebody else, it's that test was done by Lee. It still, kind of gets her off the hook with Bill.
Temporarily.
So my question is, if going back to the getting spoiled part, if Bill spoils Luna, gives her everything, blah blah blah, and then they find out 9 months or a year or whatever that he's not Pops, does she have to get everything back? No. Okay, good.
That's not that girl's fault. That's Poppy's fault. I honestly,
I don't think Bill would do that either.
Yeah, he's too much of a simp. But I do feel that something's going to pop up to where they actually have to go into a real lab and get a lab test done. But I don't believe that he is her father at all.
Well, we will see what these secrets are, because Tom is sitting on a mountain of them, it looked like.
And I want to hear him.
Alrighty, now we got to talk about the C-suite, because Steffi is not happy with her dad, that her dad did not talk to her first and say, look, I want to appoint this person to take my spot. Instead, he talked to Brooke first. She turned it down originally and then come back and said yes at the table, and Carter co-signing.
That was so disrespectful, considering Ridge would not even have his 20% if Steffi had not gotten the company back. That will just infuriate me forever. I know a lot of people are, go, oh yay, Steffi's getting hers, blah blah blah. Well, none of them would be doing what they're doing if not for Steffi, because she got the company back for the Foresters,
and she's a majority stakeholder.
Exactly, and that just to put her in this position this way is so disrespectful, and the storyline is so disrespectful toward women leaders in business. It's really just absolutely infuriating that he would not talk to her first.
Yeah,
but get all the time. Oh, I'm sorry, Keish.
I was just gonna say the way he put her on the spot like that in front of Brooke and Hope of all people, two people that they can't stand her and she can't stand them, and he basically embarrassed her in front of them.
And I gotta give it to Jacqueline. Oh, sorry, girl. I thought you were done.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah.
And I gotta give it to Jacqueline, because she played that part where she looked like she was hurt. The girl had tears in her eyes.
Yeah. But she was so restrained. It was restrained rage.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
She's so good at what she's so good. She's so good. I love the character, and it was really, really good. That whole scene, that whole entire boardroom scene. I mean, first of all, why was Hope in there? She's not a right. She runs a line. She doesn't sit on the board. What was she doing in there? I mean, I know, yes, Richard Byron was in the script and everything, but make it make sense. Tell me this is not the Logan show when this kind of stuff happens like this.
Right. I'm like, don't she have some ugly ass fashions they need to?
Go take up that helm, girl. Go take up that helm.
Right. Like, what are you worried about this whole decision? You have no say in this at all. And she threw her little 2 cents in, like, don't let Steffi deter you away from what's rightfully yours, Mom. Like, this was so disrespectful of Ridge.
And you know whose fault that is? That was Ridge's fault, because Ridge was the one that called her and told her that there was no reason for him to do that. And it's like, it's almost as if he purposely tries to hurt his daughter.
I know. I agree. And a lot of people online are like, when I said that online, they're like, oh, you just hate Hope. I don't hate Hope. I don't. I love the character of Hope. But in these situations, I'm sorry. No, it's a no. This is not how this works. No one would do this.
Yeah.
I'll go on record and say I don't like Hope. The way she's been moving, the way she treated Thomas, the way like she has these little snide comments, like how she's moving, I just do not like it at all. And the ugly clothes just don't help it either.
Yeah, and the thing is, she come up in there before that meeting started talking about can she do a runway fashion show, and it's like, no, you got to make sure you got the designs together first before you put them on the runway.
I love watching her because she's a train wreck. It's like everything needs to be about her. It's about her love, her this, her that, her contribution. It's like you wouldn't have any of this. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember this, but when Bill owned the company, he couldn't have cared less about Brooke, and he wasn't a fan of Hope, and he wasn't a fan of Hope and Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and two, whenever I watch those episodes of when somebody had posted online a series of when Katie and Bill got together, and when they were, I'll say it again, when they were doing that royal line, Steffi was standing on the sidelines cheering on all three Logan sisters for that line. Yeah, Issa brought up how she was telling Hope and Thomas after this last fashion line, she was praising Hope, and Brie, even you said that too. She was praising Hope, she was praising Thomas, it was a great line, blah, blah, blah. He has not always wanted to get rid of the Logans. The narrative is just like, I don't know what show some people are watching.
Yeah.
And that's my other thing. It was just last year, Steffi even went against her own brother for Hope.
Right.
And even when they had that thing, that 2-outfit fashion show over in Milan or Rome, wherever, like Steffi was even praising her, like, wow, you guys killed it, you did great, I'm so glad that we're all getting along. So this woman has always been professional, even though she doesn't like the Logan, she's always made that personally known. But when it comes to Forrester business, she stands on business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's a little unnerving that Ridge treated her this way. And that's why I'm like, go take your 30% and 37%, however much, just collect that check and go and start a whole new fashion house, because Ridge and Eric are going to clearly have the majority say. You have no say in that company at all.
I mean, honestly, when she got that company back, she didn't have to give anybody anything. She could have controlled 100% and dictated everything. She didn't do that.
Yep, I agree.
And she even said to Ridge, like after basically that decision was final, she was like, you know what, I'm going to do what's best for the company, regardless of how I feel. I'm going to do what's best for Forrester Creation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's just, and she's always been like that.
Yep.
So, like Brie was saying, like you guys were saying, the whole narrative of her trying to get rid of the Logans all the time, or what Hope is basically going around telling everybody, which is she's trying to pit the Forsters against the Logans, and she's trying to get rid of us. It's like the only thing Steffi has talked about was getting rid of your line because it was failing. She hasn't said anything else about getting rid of anything else Logan, or trying to fire anybody, or any of that.
Right.
So it's like she's made up this
I'm sorry.
whole... Oh no, you're fine. I was just going to say she's made up this whole narrative in her head of something that wasn't even happening.
Well, exactly. And Steffi only said the line. She didn't say, and you're gone too, Hope.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so was your mother's line, and so was everything that your mother did. She didn't even say anything about Brooke.
No.
Mm-mm.
And she wouldn't even have hope for the future if it wasn't for Katie being spiteful towards Steffi. And now Steffi, at one point, held all the cards, and she's been doing nothing but helping Hope save her line.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then the crazy thing about this whole thing, after it was all said and done, and Brooke finally decided to say yes, and then Ridge got the doe eyes looking at Steffi, trying to play the victim. Like, I can't believe my daughter don't think I respect her. And I'm like, dude, that's your co-CEO. You were supposed to have that conversation with her first.
Right.
And he didn't even apologize.
Nope.
Not once.
No. Well, and if you'll remember, like when the show ended, I think it was yesterday, or whatever the day was, whenever it was decided. So that was yesterday. When Ridge, when they were still sitting at the table, and Steffi was looking at Ridge was looking at Brooke. He couldn't even look her in the eye. Mm-hmm. He knew exactly what he did.
And he
good. No.
Steffi should have been a part of that decision. He should have gotten Steffi and said, I don't want to be co-CEO anymore. Who do you have in mind? Give me some names so we can run the program.
Correct.
We can talk to these people. And because you're going to be working with them the most, you make your pick and I'll back you.
Mm-hmm.
None of that conversation, none of that happened. Mm-hmm. Instead, he basically bulldozes his way to get his way.
Yep.
Put someone in the position who she doesn't get along with, which is an idiotic decision. I don't care how much experience Brooke has, what she did when she was CEO before. Mm-hmm. If you know from jump that you're bringing in somebody that has a tumultuous relationship with the other individual that they're going to be working with in a leadership role at that, that's bad business already.
That's right. You in leadership, aren't you, Keish?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would never hire someone into. I have what, 4 shop superintendents, and they all have to work together for our entire squadron to make sure that all of our shit gets done, that our mission is taken care of. Mm-hmm. I would never hire someone into that position because we have the luxury of working with most of these people previously, so we kind of know what their work ethic is like, who gets along with who meshes well together. I would be an idiot if I hired someone into one of those positions who I already knew had a crappy background with another one of my superintendents. I would just be setting myself up and my entire squadron up for failure because I've worked for two leaders that didn't get along, and we all felt it. We all felt the tension. It was a horrible time in our squadron because our leadership was not meshing well. They get along.
And you know what upset me about Ridge this week? He was more sympathetic to Hope and what she was going through with Thomas. He even reached out, tried to say, like, I'm there for you, and all of this. Like, where was this sympathy for his own child?
No.
None.
I was so furious with that. And he was talking about how amazing she is, and he's there for her. I'm like, Steffi could have used that from her dad. She didn't get nothing from that after that meeting. Nothing.
No. I'm so tired of Hope getting the benefit of the doubt every time. She's literally, in her mind, coveting someone else's husband. She gets the benefit of the doubt on the violence that has happened between her and Steffi when she's the one who shoved a pregnant Steffi into the desk during that one argument. She's attempted to slap Steffi multiple times. And when they had the whole, the cake fight or the chocolate fountain fight, that was both of them. But I don't recall Steffi physically assaulting her. Ever. But Hope gets the benefit of the doubt on everything. And she's not some innocent little, when she first started her line, the whole purity and sanctimonious stuff she was, posing back then. She's a different person now. She's been around the block multiple times with many people. And just basically left her husband, had an affair on him, left him. She's not wearing a halo. So let's just stop with the coddling.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all these characters, they have flaws. Steffi have hers, Hope has hers, and usually depending on how the writers want to, because I mean, we had pretty much everybody was, well, I know not everybody, I know myself and a couple of people was talking about how Steffi was acting and on a rampage over the last several months, and then it's kind of switching and the pendulum is swinging. But to make matters worse, after dealing with her father, Finn comes in and stick her with another.
No.
I was so annoyed with him.
That is annoying.
I'm like, read the room, man. Like,
Right.
come on.
Like, just give your wife a hug and shut up. Nobody, I get that he wants everybody to get along. He wants to be the peacemaker. He doesn't like confrontation or whatever. But just give her a hug and say, I'm sorry you're going through this. Like, what can I do to make you feel better? What can I do to help your day go better? Like, something like that. Like, we don't need Finn telling her just find a way to get along with Brooke or Hope or whoever.
No.
I'm so tired of him doing that with her.
Same. Some of the posters are saying how innocent Hope is not innocent. Please, how many minutes?
No.
She's had an affair. She has slapped Steffi. Then somebody mentioned about Steffi slapping Sheila. Yeah, she slapped Sheila. If I was Steffi, I'd slap Sheila every time I saw her coming.
Well, Trish, you'd rather throw her off a cliff.
Yeah, I am ready to throw Sheila off a cliff, but Steffi has never, ever gone after Hope physically. But Hope absolutely has Steffi. And Hope is not innocent. It has been for years.
Oh no, she tried to get custody of Douglas underneath Thomas. She's even tried to put him in a bad acid, or she thought she did. But
She
this
had a
woman,
addiction.
yeah. And the thing is, if we're going to go back to like what most recently what she did, this is innocent Hope who has this marriage with Liam, and if she chose to step out of it and wreck her own home, that's not innocent qualities.
No.
Especially when she's sexing her husband but thinking about Thomas giving her the sex.
Exactly. And felt very little remorse about it because she screwed that same man the very following day, and then the next day served her own husband with divorce papers, even though she stepped outside the marriage.
And at the same time telling Thomas one thing, but then hoping that Liam would take her back.
Right. And I'm like, that's not innocent behavior at all.
No, it's not.
So both these ladies have issues. That's why I think we all said that they need a therapist on the show.
Oh yeah, they all have issues. There's no question. But the word innocent doesn't really belong on the soap opera unless we're talking about.
Yeah, ain't nobody innocent on this show. I think the only and even if you say Finn is the only innocent one, he's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And being a people pleaser doesn't benefit anyone because you're talking out of both sides of your neck.
Right.
Yeah.
The only innocent one is Douglas.
Douglas, Beth, and
Douglas.
Kelly.
Right. Everybody else has done so many things heinously wrong.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is gonna get ugly as time go on. I mean, Brooke is like, oh, I'm looking forward to working with you, Steffi, and I'm like,
that was so patronizing. I was like, oh wow. The look on Steffi's face was like, wow, man, you are a piece of work.
Right. She only did that in front of her daddy. She's the Logan's enforcers banded together. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
No, keep that, please.
and then finally, I know we kind of touched on him a little bit. What about Carter's 2 and 3 cents he kept putting in?
Carter's annoying too.
Stephanie looked at him. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. You go.
That's what I say. She looked at him like, you better keep your job.
Were you the one that brought it up in the chat that Carter looked at her and said, we're all going to get along or something like that?
I can't remember, but but the fact that he even said that, I'm like, this is not the time to be peacemaker.
Right.
This is too much stuff going on for decades, and this is a feud that he really needs to stay out of. But I understand from a professional standpoint, he had to get his little 2 cents in. But once again, Rich already made this decision. There's no one else that could have, gone against it except for Brooke.
Yeah.
So Trish,
Yeah.
what power does Steffi have? Because I feel like
she has 37.5% power, and that's not enough to make a unilateral decision. But Ridge can do it because he knows good and well that Eric will back him up.
So Steffi basically, she has no control over anything. She has no power to do anything because with Ridge and Eric always making the same decision, she's always outvoted, basically.
Yeah. Even if she and Thomas banded together, that's only an extra 5%.
Exactly. So Eric, and that's why Ridge goes to Eric for those decisions, because he knows he can put that together and have everything swing his direction.
Exactly. And somebody on there posted that Steffi shouldn't be the CEO, and neither should Thomas if they're not Forresters or whatever. Let me just say something about this not Forrester shit, because
wait a minute, wait. Trish about to say it.
Raised by Eric.
Listen, Trish about to say it with her chest. Okay, go ahead.
Eric is his dad, and he may not have been the sperm donor, but he raised him with love with Stephanie, and Ridge was with him every day of his life, and Stephanie's father is the one who funded the company, and somebody said that it was only Eric's legacy. It is not just Eric's legacy. It is Stephanie Douglas Forrester's legacy too. And Steffi Forrester is a descendant of Stephanie Douglas Forrester, whereby this company would not exist had it not been for that investment. So yes, she has every right to it, and not only that, nobody in the Forrester family would have the company if it weren't for Steffi Forrester. So yeah, Steffi deserves to be CEO. Yeah, Steffi has a huge percentage of the company. Yes, Steffi is really good at what she does. It's been very successful. Whenever they were failing, you want to know who was pulling the strings? Eric. Cost him all that money with his line that he wanted to do. Pulled money away from the Hope for the Future line. They had to have that silly competition. I mean, all this stuff is ridiculous. Steffi, everything that she's touched so far has been what's kept the company going. And every time somebody steps in to move a budget or do something out of the blue is when things tank. So that's it. That's all I got. Love y'all. Love you so much. Love you. Could have had 100.
Okay, I had to throw that sound effect in there.
Not my scorched earth. What was that sound?
That was a crowd cheer. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm a little hard of hearing. So.
Oh my goodness. But okay. Did you get it all out, Trish?
Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Thank y'all for listening, whether you agree with me or not. I love y'all.
When she started cussing, move out the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We just got out the way. We just like, back up.
I must have gone into something or something.
Oh my goodness.
I'm embarrassed now.
Oh no.
I'm really not embarrassed.
All right, so did we cover everything for Bold?
I think we did. Yeah, and also the way Ridge was looking at those ugly dresses at
Oh God. That was funny. He came in there and looked like, it's not done yet. Oh, okay.
He didn't even comment. He was just like, and he moved on a whole other topic. That ramen noodle dress, that was ugly. I could not, I'm like, why is she trying to save this line with all this ugly taste like this?
When I saw your comment and the photo or the picture of the ramen noodles, my drink came out my nose. I so hard.
It's the same color, everything. It was ramen noodles, chicken flavored,
bouillon color.
Yes, I'm like, who was going to wear that besides Claire?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and how could we forget the ending where Douglas came in, Hope was happy, and Thomas was in the
Oh,
door?
right.
How did this? We've been waiting for this for
Y'all,
3 months.
when Douglas, well, okay, so here's where I love Hope. So when Douglas came in and Hope was sitting there with her eyes closed, and when she looked up and saw that kid, you could see her heart just swell up. She was so filled with joy and happiness seeing him, and went and got down on her knees and was holding him. And when she looked up at Thomas, y'all, she still got it for Thomas.
Girl, she was like, okay, it's back on. Let me get the sheets ready.
And he looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that haircut, but he does look good. He looks like he's happy, well rested, and I want to see that body.
Yes.
But it was good to finally see Thomas. My God, I missed him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Douglas is adorable.
Yeah, he's adorable, and she was really crying in that office, like, oh my God, like.
Yep.
Him leaving, I wasn't expecting to feel all these pent-up emotions. I'm like, you were just trash talking him
You were.
in front of Finn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now you miss him all of a sudden. Keep that, please.
Well,
But
she about.
admitted though. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Trish.
I was gonna say she admitted though to Ridge whenever Ridge was talking to her and Brooke, and she admitted that it's been a challenging time with him being gone, and she misses him. And
It's her own fault.
Yeah, it is. I know, but I thought that was a good conversation, even though Ridge couldn't have bothered to offer the same kind of compassion to Steffi earlier. I felt for Hope in the whole Douglas scene.
Right. Yeah.
As far as it goes.
I get it.
I can't wait to hope and realize that, and like I said, I kind of teased some of the spoilers for this coming week of the 24th through the 28th, where she realizes that Paris and Thomas are engaged.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
And it was an ugly ring, too.
Girl.
What is the deal with these different offset big dot? Like, I don't know. I guess I have I have things about certain things being symmetrical, and I can't do that. Right? I can't.
It was a very ugly ring. I mean, I personally wouldn't take that seriously, but I cannot wait to see what happened with Paris, because I thought she was over at Forest of Creation. So when does she go all the way to Paris to be in Paris with him? Like
My thing is, all that happened in 3 months.
Right.
Yeah, that was way too fast.
Because he was in pain when he left, and then went to Paris, and I guess he ran into Paris in Paris, and they started dating, and they didn't got to the point in 3 months where they're engaged.
Well, and you gotta realize that when Hope sees that ring, she's gonna know they've been very serious since they probably ran into each other, and it's probably like jealous that she hasn't been getting what Paris is getting.
Oh yeah, we know. Listen, Paris done got that awakening too.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for her. She said, yeah, I'm going to take that ring. No, as ugly as it is, I'll take that ring.
You could use one diamond or the other. Just one or the other, but not both in the same. Put one in a pendant.
Well, didn't he design Hope's ring or something? So he probably designed this one for her too. But yeah. Well, here's the thing. We know what Thomas is capable of in that bedroom. With the biting and the scratching and all. And so Paris is probably a happy woman right now.
Good for her. Temporarily, because he's using her.
Exactly. Yeah, yes, I agree. I think so.
But using her for what?
Well, hey, I thought this today. What if he and Paris ran into each other? Or what if this is all a hoax to see if he can make Hope jealous to then coax her back to then marry?
Yeah, but the thing is, she gonna go right to trying to undermine them this upcoming week. So, I mean, I could see if that would be a long game, not coming right back to town and he's like, oh, she's jealous, let's break up. I don't know about that.
I personally don't see the type of chemistry that he and Hope had with him and Paris. I don't know, maybe in the weeks to come we might get to see it, but I feel like this is a rebound, especially after 3 months and he put a ring on it and now she's ready to play stepmommy, and it's the same girl who wanted to play in the streets in the traffic light in peace. So and plus Zende tried to put a ring on it, and like it just didn't seem like she wanted marriage, especially as young as she is.
Well, she told Zende that she wanted to be independent, focus on her career. You know, she's not ready for marriage. And when was that? A year ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so in a year being in Paris and Thomas showing up to town, I guess maybe she's ready now, a year and a half later?
Right. Well, she was ready with Carter, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that was a quickie little thing there. That's why I can't really take this thing with Thomas seriously. It's like she is very impulsive. And she's very young, too. So that's why I don't really take this too seriously, but it's going to drive Hope crazy, which is going to be nice, especially since Paris worked right underneath Hope too, and they were talking about how hot he is and everything all of last year, and now this girl got this ugly ring on from him. So I'm curious to see how this is going to roll out. I want to see the love scenes between those two, but I did not expect for Paris to be with Thomas. She needed to be in the age group with RJ and Luna, personally.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. If she is truly, because some people saying maybe this is a setup, maybe she's helping Thomas and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know. But if it is legit and she is truly into Thomas truly into her, and Hope is trying to come between them, because Steffi is also supposed to go up against Hope next week about interfering in Thomas and Paris' relationship as well. I'm wondering if Paris gonna clap back at Hope about her interfering as well too. Can you imagine that face off and what that could look like?
I'm curious. I've never seen Paris pop off, so that would actually be fun to see. I don't know. I want someone to give Hope some pushback besides Steffi, and Steffi get the blame for it personally. Mm-hmm. So it would be refreshing to see that, but I just don't feel like she's the right person for Thomas. She needs to be competing with Luna for RJ, in my opinion. That age group fits much better. And I'm also curious to see what Zende's going to say about this too, because this girl really broke his heart, and he put up with the bubble guts and everything. Poor guy.
Right. Yep. Okay. Did we get it all out? I'm glad Thomas is back, but we got to see how this storyline gonna go. This is gonna be interesting, and I'm here for it.
Me too.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yep. And Keish had to drop off because she's in the car and she didn't want to have the background noise in the call. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Drive safe, Keish.
Yep. Be safe on them roads, girl. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to move into our final segments, which is our flip the script and who's taken several seats and the star of the week and the pickle of the week. So for those newbies, because there's quite a bit in here, and how many people in the chat? I think at one point I was like 160.
We're at 165. It's been steady at 150, 160 this whole night.
Nice. Okay, so newbies, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do this type of stuff midweek. We also do a live chat every Friday night, 7 o'clock Central Time. And also, I do spoilers on this channel, so stay tuned for the spoiler videos coming out this weekend for next week. Also do daily recaps, standalones, where I if there's something hot that's coming out, like I did a coming and going. I missed the two with Trevor and with Crew coming in, but I did post that standalone coming video a couple days ago with Thomas, with J Mac coming back. So I do all of those things. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the like button. I saw J Money in here earlier mentioning it was 160 people in this chat, but only like maybe 40 of you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. It's been steady, as Bree said, for the last couple hours that we've been on or so. So obviously you enjoying the content. So make sure you hit that like button, please. Please, pretty please. All right. So for those newbies, flip the script segment. If there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script. All right. So, Young and the Restless, what you got for your flip? Bree or Trish?
Go ahead, Bree.
The only one I can think of is when Kyle and Claire were at the coffee house. I wish he asked her, what the hell you have on?
What the
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I agree with that. What you got, Trish?
Mine would absolutely be that Audra did not use Victor. That she took Tucker up on his idea of him just giving her the company scot-free and clear. Because that whole storyline of now her working under Victor is just going to be a cluster. And that's even if she even works the first day.
Mm-hmm. That is correct, because Kyle is trying to get her out next week. Was it worth it?
Right.
Yeah. And then my flip, I wouldn't have mind seeing, but we all know that Trevor's leaving. I wouldn't mind Jack and I kind of talked about this, Jack and Tucker, they might go back and spar a little bit for a while about this mystery investor, but realizing collectively that is Victor, and maybe figure out a way to circumvent Victor, but obviously they're not going down that route. Jack is oblivious and we're losing Tucker, so. And then if I had another flip, I would have, with Abby, Billy would be like, I'm sorry we didn't tell you, but you should have checked on your mama yourself. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, what y'all got for bold?
I actually had two for bold. I couldn't decide which one. I was hoping at that C-suite meeting that Steffy would have told her dad, okay, well, sell me back my shares. And on the other flip side, I was hoping that Lee would give Poppy a chance.
Okay. What you got, Trish?
So I think it would be really fun if instead of Poppy being catty to Katie, that when she walked in, she's like, Katie, hey, what's up? And just go sit down and just be so nonchalant about everything that she's just unbothered, completely unbothered. I think that would get under Katie's skin so much worse.
Yeah, instead of her trying to force so hard. Yep, I agree. My flip would have been Steffi actually standing 10 toes down and calling Ridge out on his BS.
Yeah.
Because when he tried, I didn't like how he played the victim and tried to make her feel bad by saying, I couldn't believe that my daughter. I was like, no, Pops. You had every responsibility as a professional, and me being your co-CEO, to have that conversation with me and not blindside me with this at this table.
Yep.
We could have discussed this. We could have threw some names out there. We could have considered this together and came up with a decision. You made a decision to put your girlfriend in that position.
Thank you for highlighting that. She is just a girlfriend, not even a wife, even though they're supposed to plan that special wedding. And she's supposed to make her special wedding dress. That never happened.
Yeah, you decided to unilaterally, you made that decision to put your girlfriend as co-CEO, knowing that we clearly don't want to work together. I would have made, I'm sorry, Pops, this is business. I respect you. I'm not going to cuss you out. But, I'm going to stand 10 toes down and tell you that you was wrong. So don't give me the crocodile tears like you about to cry.
I agree.
She needed to cuss him out, though.
Yep.
It was warranted.
Oh, no. Listen, if I cuss my dad out, I think I would be in trouble.
I wouldn't. I'm not cussing my dad. I'm cussing my co-CEO out.
That's still my father.
My dad never would have been so disrespectful.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Who's taking seats? Now, for the newbies in the group or in the chat, taking a seat means somebody that was doing too much, got on your nerves this week. They need to take several seats. Go sit down somewhere and get your thoughts and your head on straight. So, Young and the Restless. Who's taking a seat?
Audra, Jack, Kyle.
What you got, Bree?
I actually had Devon for the way he was talking about Tucker. Keep your family business to yourself. And Abby, because she should have always have checked on her mother. I had Blacklight Special, and I had Johnny Bravo too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Claire's shirt a seat.
Okay.
Claire's.
Gonna get the pickle.
Listen, I gotta put it back on screen. I got this right here. That shirt right there needs to take several seats.
Oh no.
I mean, seriously. I understand if y'all want to make her look infantile, but that shirt ain't it. I don't think little young girls don't even wear shirts like that in 2024. More like 1824, but not 2024. Yes. What you say?
Ugly.
That is ridiculous. All the young girls that's on the show, on Bold, on Young, I've never seen this before.
It's awful. There was something like that on one of the Hallmark movies the other night too. It was like, oh, why? Please stop. Why do this? No.
I'm serious. And actually, Laura Ingalls Wilde, which was a real person back in the late 1800s. I mean, that's what they wore. So I could see that happening in 1894.
Well, yeah, I mean, they literally sewed their dresses from those, from whatever fabric they could get their hands on, and then you paid extra for the what would you call it? Accentuations? I don't know.
Right.
What do you call it?
And then I remember, because I used to be a big fan of watching that show back in the 80s and 90s. Nellie. You remember Nellie, the one that was always...
Nellie Olson, yeah.
Yeah, that's who she reminds me of in this picture. She like Nellie Olson.
Yeah.
Is that who dressed her?
Oh my God. They went to the wardrobe cabinet and said, let's bring this style back.
And they used her as a test dummy. That's unfortunate.
I know. Listen.
Same size.
What is her name? Haley Aaron that plays this role, right? I know she had to look at that shirt and was like, you want me to do what?
Especially with her tats sticking out the sleeve.
Right, her tattoos hanging out. So you combining 2024 to 1894. She got the tattoos and the Little House on the Prairie dress.
Look at this. And the thing is, the actress itself actually has great style off screen.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be playing a almost 26-year-old because she was technically born as baby Eve in 1998. You will be turning 26 this year.
Yeah.
She should be hanging out in the age group of maybe Abby, Summer, with that crew. And I know she's trying to be nice to her siblings and whatnot, but yeah, this shirt ain't it. So yes, that shirt needs to take a seat.
Anita says.
Oh wait, look, Anita said that shirt looked like something Hope would have worn before she started banging Thomas.
Oh, you know what? There was a scene that the day after Thomas left, she went right back to the little house of Perry. I'm gonna send a screenshot to the group chat. But she had the same type of shirt, but it was all white, and she wore those ugly brown pants and those boots. I'm like, this is exactly Hope for the future right here. She can't think for herself. She needs somebody else for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
All right, taking seats on bold.
Oh, Ridge.
Ridge and Hope, without question.
Yeah.
They both were doing the most this whole week.
Yeah, well, Poppy was doing a little bit too much with that kiss, trying to throw that in Katie's face. And then I'm going to have to, unfortunately, give Sheila a seat.
What?
Yeah, I know. Because, I mean, granted, Tom was out of pocket. He did apologize for confronting the situation. But you need to chill out. People are not going to be happy about what they find about you.
No. And there again, she thinks that she's entitled to respect and forgiveness.
Even in part of if you changing, she could have easily told Tom, yeah, I know I had a past. I'm ashamed of it. I'm trying to do better, and I can understand why you would be concerned. But you have nothing to worry about, and they could have went back to throwing pizza.
Just so disrespectful, especially the man who she wouldn't even be at the restaurant if it wasn't for him.
Right.
Yeah, you would have been stuck in that dungeon.
Exactly.
Like stew.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But this is a changed woman, y'all.
Yep.
Right. Please. It's like every day you look at the comments, it's like, oh my God, there's no. She's eavesdropping, and she's got that manipulative look in her eyes, and she's planning and concocting something dangerous and bad. Like, she's not good.
Okay, so then let me ask you a question then right quick, and I don't want to go too far off because I know we've been going on for a while now. Why did they have her eavesdrop and have her try to figure out what's that whole secret about Hope, if now Hope is shifting over to Thomas, trying to undermine that? So are they not going to have her plot to put Finn with her, or have Sheila figure out a way to get Finn and Hope together? If Hope is going to go full blown trying to undermine Paris and Thomas, I don't know. That's going to be how they going to fit all that back together.
I was thinking that too. I think that this was a missed opportunity for the writers. I mean, they need a villain on the show, and that's Sheila's role in this whole storyline. So maybe she might plant seeds for Hope to kind of swing more towards Finn's direction. But either which way, it's like she's going to be battling both her feelings for Finn and for Thomas.
Ugh, oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Yep, well, it's going to be interesting. All right, star of the week, Young and the Restless.
Katie.
Oh yeah, she was pissed.
Yeah, that she was giving old school Victoria energy, and I was so here for it. I was happy for that.
I'm going to give it to Trevor since he's on his way out. He did an excellent job on his stint on this show since he's been here. And then I'm going to just give, even though I didn't watch it, give the 30-year anniversary kudos to Josh.
Yeah, thank you for being sexy all of your life.
Thank you, yes. We've all been here, and we will continue to be here for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
And the fact that his son that looks just like him is coming over to Bold. So that's going to be...
I'm not talking about a kid or nothing like that. I mean,
No. I'm just happy to see that the legacy is continuing, because we've seen Katie, Heather Tom used her son back in the day.
that was adorable.
Yep, and now they're bringing in Josh Morrow's son in. So I'm looking forward to see what his storyline is going to look like, see what type of actor he is. If he outacts RJ, What can I say?
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. So, because I've heard different commentaries on the RJ character. So anyway,
They all work so hard.
I know. I just think I don't know.
He just needs the right storyline.
Yeah, he needs the right storyline for him. Okay, and then star of the week on Bold.
Tom, Ron Howard's son. This right here, I was not prepared.
You mean
for.
Cliff Howard?
Cliff Howard,
God's brother. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This, I was very surprised by this whole storyline and the fact that he has no problem going up to Deacon. I was refreshed by Tom. So good for Cliff Howard.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Trish?
I'm gonna give it to Steffi for the controlled rage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that about Jacqueline too. She was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Pickle of the week. What that is for the newbies is that just bad taste in your mouth. It was just not good. I'm gonna start off again with Claire's shirt.
Sure.
I second that.
That shirt was absolutely hideous. Go ahead, Trish.
It's unanimous.
Yep.
Claire's shirt.
Claire's shirt.
Fashion designers everywhere. Take note. Nobody, and we mean nobody, like 3 out of 3 said no to that kind of shirt. So let's not do that again. And we appreciate you so much.
And you know what? We should sew a little pickle right above the lace part of it. She'll have a pickle insignia right there.
The logo.
Yeah.
Head to toe, even the shorts, it was just, all of it was just terrible.
Just
They just did a disservice to this girl. We didn't talk about this girl. This
Yeah,
shirt.
we didn't talk that shirt to death.
We did, man. That thing is smoldering in the pit.
Right.
Oh.
And like Bree always say, they listen to the podcast, so maybe we won't see that again. I think the last outfit that I did not like on the soaps was the dress that Kiara Barnes wore, Zoe, with that big old hideous snake on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why did y'all put that girl, she's a beautiful, why would you put that dress on her?
I mean, you should have done something that would have highlighted her amazing smile and those beautiful eyes. What was that? What was that?
Yeah, what was that? It was terrible. All right, and then our pickle on Bold. Rich.
Noodle dress.
We're going all in on the fashion this week for the pickle.
Are you talking about Hope for the Future dresses?
That ramen noodle dress that she had on. I wasn't concerned about those maxi dresses because I'm like, but that ramen noodle dress, it had the unnecessary collar, and then it was horizontal. It was just, no. It was a no for me. That's a pickle for me.
Adita Lee said that wasn't a snake, that was a dragon on Zoe's dress.
It was still ugly.
That thing was hideous.
It was scaly.
Yeah, it was, ugh. I don't know. I mean, it could be a runway hit because a lot of that stuff that they wear is highly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not my taste. Who knows? That shirt that Claire had on, that shirt probably cost $300.
I mean, some stuff that goes on the runway is just for the show.
Right.
I wear that in public.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the receipt.
Right.
Yep.
Stuff the tags. Keep the receipt.
Keep the receipts.
And let the actress Haley Aaron, I forget what the girl
Haley Aaron. Mm-hmm.
Haley Aaron, let her dress Claire, because this girl has great style. Let Claire have her own individuality, her own personality, and I think that actress knows what she's doing style-wise. So just let her do her thing for that character, please.
Exactly. All right, we covered everything. Unless you guys got any final remarks, this is the end of the show. We've been on for 3 hours. Yeah.
Covered a lot.
This is my 3rd call today, being on for 3 hours.
It's how much, Black Pygmy? You said it's $300?
No, it's $299.99 too much.
For real? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, for that, listen, I'm a thrifter. I could see that at the thrift store for about 30 cents.
Yeah, it'd be the kind of thing where you'd cut the fabric up and use it in some kind of art.
Exactly, or make a tablecloth out of it or something.
Or a shirt with a doily on it.
You got that from Joanne Fabric.
Oh.
No, they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
We see why.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, we were all over the map.
I know. All right, you guys, stay tuned. Make sure on your way out to hit that like button. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Stay tuned for the spoilers for the upcoming week. For the week of the 24th through the 28th, we are at the end of June. We're headed into July in another week. And also the Young and the Restless episode for Monday, the blog post is already up. So if you follow me on Instagram and you click that link, it'll take you right to the blog post. All right?
I will be doing that.
All righty. All right, until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye.